haven't been going too well, but I've seen them beat the Eagles comfortably at Adelaide Oval a few times, and they've surprised a lot of teams as well. So on any given day, any side can come up and have a win against any other side. So
Sturt at their best are as good as anyone,
exactly,
aren't they?
that's
but
right.
They haven't produced it often this year. No team, in one sense, deserves to finish bottom this year on what we've seen so far.
Exactly right, exactly right. It's a great competition, and it's really good to see.
That's
yes, it certainly is. Been one of the most even years, and that's saying something considering how even the competition has been in recent seasons. We're here at the Bay today thanks to our major station sponsor, Home Loans Plus, your local lends. We'd like to thank Big Trev at CMV Trucks at Cavan for great one-out deals, and also thanks to Auto Pro, and take advantage of their specials and their stock take sale catalogue that's on now. In fact, tomorrow is the final day there at Auto Pro for their stock.
I'll just jump in there, John. We've just about to have the start of the game, and the umpire has pulled a free kick before the siren has even been blown.
Quite interesting stuff, as we also thank Cashflow Manager, our friends at City Build and RAA. The siren sounds now. The action is underway with the Bays getting that free kick and pumping the ball.
And it is on the boundary side wing here. There's a big blue going on between a couple of players.
Well, the Bays have gone forward for no real result. West Adelaide taking the ball deep in defence, come out to defence at 50 where the kick is over the head of the intended target. The Glenelg player, I think in Clayfield, was there, went to ground, and the West Adelaide player, Clayfield went to ground, the West Adelaide player was taken high in the contest, and his kick was not a good one. The fight is still continuing in the middle of the ground. The West Adelaide player's kick has gone out of bounds, stumped out of bounds at half back, and that's where the ball is, half forward for the Bays. And there will be a throw-in back into play. No, the umpire's got another free kick, Andrew.
Gee whiz, Glenelg I don't know what Chris Massey has said to him, but everywhere across the field, Glenelg players are scragging and hitting and bumping into their opposition players. They've come out with a real set of mongrel against them this game, and I think it's great to see.
There's a player that won't mind the rough and tough stuff, Ty Allen, who chips it and takes a mark, and there's a 25-metre penalty applied here too. And umpire Colin Ralston, vastly experienced, applying that one with the infringement by the West Adelaide player in Anderson. And so Allen, with the assistance of the breeze, the Bays kicking down toward the Glenelg Primary School end here at Brighton Road, comes in, he'll kick from 49 metres, and it looks pretty good from here, straight over the goal umpire's head. Ty Allen is excited, and so are his Glenelg teammates, and the Bays get the first score. 1 goal straight, 6, leading West Adelaide. Yet to score, we've played only, and it's a bit hard to see the time clock from here. I wish they would, can you ask if 2 minutes have gone? Better set my clock. The reason for that is there's a light tower right in front of where we're sitting, and it's pretty hard to see the time clock. So there we go. Glenelg, the first goal. Comments from Andrew Crowell.
I was just going to say, that is a perfect start for Glenelg, the perfect start for Ty Allen. Chris Massey sat him down. They had a very frank discussion. I know Ty Allen was on the end of a bit of that about his commitment and desire, and it's just great to see him bash in early and get a goal on the board.
Well, back in from the second bounce down with Glenelg by a goal. Burst takes the footy from a free kick. About the fourth Glenelg have given away this quarter. We're only 2 minutes in. He goes searching out towards the outside wing where Davenport is there. It's knocked away from him by Mules and out of bounds. An amazing start there, not only with the free kick to Glenelg early, which saw them go inside 50, but then West found themselves winning 2 free kicks, and on both occasions managed to turn them over, which resulted in goals. As the ball back into play, out of side wing, Agnew was good to Ben Kane, who thumps Glenelg back inside 50, bouncing football. Sylvester there with Todd Grimer, and they see it out of bounds in that left forward pocket underneath the scoreboard, which shows Glenelg 1 straight 6. West Adelaide yet to score.
Waiting now for the throw. Todd Grimer playing up forward. He was named at centre half back, but he did win the SANFL goal kicking last year. And he's going to take this throw in up against Daniel Webb, who's also probably as good as a key forward as he is as a ruckman. Young player, as a rookie. Morris got the hand pass away there, and West Adelaide now come out of defence. It looks like Sylvester going down towards the half-back line. And the ball's gone across the line and out of bounds on the full, so the blustery conditions making it hard here for players. Cross now to Rudolph. Played football in 3 states as Sam Rudolph. He drops the ball in short and will find a teammate, and it's going to be the Bays going for magnificent kick, and on the receiving end of that is Grimer. That was just superb, and players coming across and congratulating one another. The Glenelg boy that got that kick in just then was just trying to pick him. I think it might have been Curran, was it? There's the kick from Grimer. But the breeze has taken its toll on this ball and out of bounds on the full. So it's a tricky sort of a breeze. The windsock's being blown around, certainly favouring the southern end. Glenelg 1 goal straight 6. Westies yet to score. We've played around 3-4 minutes into the opening quarter.
As Morris plays on from deep in defence for West Adelaide, runs to defensive 50 and kicks towards his member's wing, but Grimer is there again. Todd Grimer playing well early, takes a good mark for the Bays and puts them back inside 50, flying high. Kirkby off hands, the ball hits the deck of the pack and the players pile in, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. 35 out from Glenelg's goal. They have one on the board already after a very confusing start to proceedings. That was to Ty Allen. The umpire bounces it down. Todd Grimer up in the ruck, won it down. Westies come up with the football, the pressure applied. Again, good tackling going on as West Adelaide try to clear the zone. They do so now with a handball in the direction of Anderson from Bricknell, who kicks towards half forward, or half back for West Adelaide, and dropping in there and taking the mark is Playfield for Glenelg. He hands off there to Edwards, who gives to McMahon, and McMahon's kick towards centre half forward has been marked for the Bays, and that looks like Trembath with the football there for Glenelg.
Kickable, very kickable goal, this one. He's got the wind behind his back.
It'll be a big kick, but he is around about, he'll kick from about 55 metres. But John, I'll give you the pleasure of steering this one through. You'd dop them from there.
Oh, I doubt it, but Glenelg through Trembath there at centre half forward from about 55, as Doug said, across the face in the end, out of bounds on the full. A couple of kicks going in that direction. The score remains the Bays 1 straight 6. West Adelaide yet to score. We've gone 4.5 minutes in this first term.
As it's going to be West Adelaide now coming out of defence. I better put the glasses on because it's way over on the outer side of the ground. They bring it out towards half-back, and there's a good, strong mark that's been taken here by... No, there's a free kick that's been paid here to West Adelaide. And it looks like Davenport has got that, the Port power player. Used to share a house, didn't he, with Gary Ablett down there at Torquay.
That's right.
As Davenport now takes 1 bounce, 2 bounces, tries to get round up a couple of opponents, ran into a brick wall there, eventually gets it across to a teammate, back into the centre of the ground. A free kick's been paid here, and West Adelaide now will storm their way forward. It's Caruso who kicks the ball down towards half forward. It's been chopped off, though, by the Bays, and the mark's been taken across the half-back line. Now, coming back down towards the wing, very blustery conditions, making it very hard. There's a hand pass that comes out here now to the boy in Alex Grimer. Big kick and a terrific mark taken by his brother in Todd Grimer. That was a wonderful contested mark. He's already taken 2 or 3, and he will go back. He's going to be on an angle. And Andrew Crowell, what do you think? The tricky breeze?
Well, he's actually on the right side here because the majority of the goals have been heading towards the right-hand post. So all he needs to do is head for that left-hand goal post, and the wind should bring it back beautifully for him.
You make it sound so simple.
It's easy from up here, isn't it?
If only the boy was listening. Let's have a look. Well, he may be listening. I bet he's getting advice from certainly the opposition supporters. There's the kick.
There it is.
Yeah, it pays when somebody knows what they're talking about. Take the advice. Andrew Crowd has said it all, and Nathan Grimer has dobbed his first goal for the afternoon. The Bays move along to 2 goals straight 12. West Adelaide yet to score. Glenelg kicking with a strong breeze, but my goodness, they've started well, Andrew.
They certainly have. Chris Massey would be a very happy man. I know he's challenged the group this week, and he's asked them to bring that to real desire, that hardness, that commitment, especially from their leaders, Todd Grimer, Ty Allen, etc. Those guys have had their hands on the football, and they're showing some real intent. They're chasing hard. They look like they're desperate, and it's exactly what Glenelg Football Club have been missing in recent weeks.
The Bays 2 straight 12. West yet to score. Is coming through hard there in the middle for Glenelg was Agnew. He was wrapped up. Attacking side of centre for the Bloods. The umpire says we'll ball it up. Glenelg was being told there by Andrew Crowell, showing a lot more aggression in today's game. As from the side, Westies Pettigrew wins it out. Bumped off the ball there was James Ezard. Again, we see Agnew on the bottom of the pack for Glenelg, but it was Pettigrew getting it out with a handball only as far as the Bays cellar, and he's wrapped up, and there'll be a ball up on the attacking side of centre for the Bloods. We've gone almost 6 minutes in this first term. The Bays lead by 12 points. The Seller outpoints Webb in the ruck. Comes towards Alex Grimer. It's a hurried kick towards half forward, but the West Adelaide side have the numbers there, and they come off half back, but the kick wasn't great. Knocked off by Lyons there for the Bays, or chopped off by Lyons. Gave to Adlington now, Chris Kane, who kicks towards 50, though the Bays have given away the free kick. And no, West Adelaide have given away the free kick and a 25-metre penalty against Daniel Kerr, which will mean Trenbarth, who's already had a shot on goal, will go from about, well, he was 55 out when the 25 was given, so he'll go to about 30 out, 45-degree angle, and he has a chance to kick the Bays' third goal. Trenbarth from 35 out, kicks strongly for Glenelg, and the Bays are 3 straight 18. West are yet to score, and we've gone 6 minutes in this first term. And young Trenbarth, playing just his 4th SANFL game, Andrew has been quite busy early.
He certainly has been. It was a lovely kick for goal, aiming for that left-hand goal post, but generally the Glenelg's play, it looks like a different team out there today, and it's not just the different jumpers. Much more aggressive, they look harder, they actually look like they want to be out there this week, and they're playing very aggressive football, as I said, and it looks very promising. If they can keep this sort of form up for the rest of the game, it could be a good day for them.
Almost 10 minutes gone in the opening quarter. The ball is on the ground after that bounce up, and the umpire comes in and says it's mine once again. So James Seller and Daniel Webb to contest this one. Right in the centre wicket area. Just in pretty good nick after all the rain we had yesterday. James Izard, manhandle, will get a free kick. The 2009 Magarey medalist will go back. There's his kick. It's smothered there as he tried to run around a player on the mark. Trying to get a hand pass out there was Snook. He couldn't do so. Free kick will go the way, though, of Snook. He was grabbed a little bit high. It's a bit hard to know where his shoulder is because he's got such a lot of hair. But anyway, it was... And there's a specky taken, and that's Grimer. Once again, hasn't he started off, and his confidence must be sky high at the moment. He was sky high too, not quite in the same calibre as Nick Natanui and Melbourne's Petard, but still it was a great mark. One of the reasons people come to see Australian rules footy. And a chance now to score Glenelg's 4th goal in just around about the 11th minute of this opening quarter. It has been a sensational start by the Tigers. In comes Grimer. There's the kick. It looks all right from here. Umpire had to move a little bit, but he's put it through. 2 goals there to Grimer. And a terrific start by Glenelg. 4 goals straight, 24. Leading West Adelaide yet to score. The Bays admittedly going with the breeze, but playing great footy.
They certainly are. That was an absolute hanger from Todd Grimer there. What a grab. What a start of the game. He's had 11-minute mark of the game. 5 disposals, 5 marks. He's kicked 2 goals, and he's just looked like a real aggressive player out there, and he's attacking the football and setting a great example for the rest of his teammates. So great start to the game from Glenelg. Great to the start of the game from Todd Grimer.
And David, I'd be very interested to get your opinion down there at ground level. A very strange, disjointed sort of start, but Glenelg have certainly settled well.
Glenelg have settled well. Westies have got 1 player behind the ball at the moment, and 1 player loose defence, and of course they haven't been across half forward at all in the first 12 minutes.
No worries, David Kemp there on the boundary. Agnew gets a free in the middle for Glenelg, goes out towards half forward. Adlington there, Trenbarth as well. Hill from West Adelaide with them, and they see it over the boundary. 55 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They have kicked 4 straight 24. West yet to score, and we've gone 11 minutes in this first term.
Really good point made by David Kemp there. Westies, if I was the coach right now, I'd be sending a couple of players back. There's a big breeze heading into their forward line, of the Glenelg's forward line. You need to get someone back there and plug some gaps. As
the Bloods kick out towards the outer side wing, Pettigrew there, trying to gather in the bouncing football under pressure from a couple of Bays players. It goes out of bounds half forward right. And I reckon, Doug, this is about the first time we've seen West Adelaide at half forward for the game.
Yeah, absolutely right, Michael. Pettigrew, as you mentioned, in that little passage of play, he'll be keen to do well today too, both for his immediate and long-term prospects down at the power. There's the throw-in. It was Seller who got a very good tap out there, but will be taken by West Adelaide. Agrington applied the tackle. No one able to break their way clear. Shane Burse is in there for Westies too. The umpire comes in and says it's mine. Halfway between wing and half forward, outer side of the ground down here at the Ryderroll Stadium, which previously was known as Glenelg Oval, as the umpire puts the ball up again, and it's all locked up once again. So there'll be a lot of this today. The umpires will certainly earn their keep. Let's see if we can get a clearance this time. There's the ball up. James Seller, yet another tap out to no one in particular, with due respect to the West Adelaide player. Kicks the ball high in the air. There's a big leap there from behind. Players going in very, very hard, as you might imagine. Umpire comes in and says it's mine once again. So we've played how many minutes in this opening quarter? About 13 gone. Glenelg 4 goals straight, 24. Westies yet to score.
Yes, it's been good. An interesting stat at the moment. Inside 50s, Glenelg 9, West Adelaide 0.
Ball at half forward for Westies, and they'll get a free kick. A good tackle applied there by Izzard. Comes up with the free at half forward for the holding the ball there. And he has a chance to put Westies inside that forward 50 for the first time this afternoon. He does so, but the Bays have the numbers, and Rudolph getting back there, taking the mark. As Doug Oakley told you, a man who's a real football journeyman. Oh, his kick's a shocker on this occasion. He's gone to go across the face. He had a couple of players running there for him, but his kick was nowhere near hard enough, and it's landed in the arms of Brad Kirk, who on debut for West Adelaide today has snapped it up at the top of the goal square, 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. Said thanks very much, and he lines up for goal and bangs it through. What a bad way to start your SANFL career, a gimme goal like that. Kirk is West's first. They're 1 straight 6. Glenelg 4 straight 24. You're on 107.9 Life FM, SA's home of local football.
Getting into your first home can be a bit of a challenge these days, especially with all the banks tightening up. Loan approval can seem too difficult. That's why Home Loans Plus is renowned for being a first home buyer specialist. They just go the extra mile, pulling out all stops to get you over the line with a home loan. Contact station sponsor Home Loans Plus right now. Proudly supporting Teen Challenge.
8410 8777 get a loan, no fuss. 8410 8777 Home Loans Plus.
Welcome back to the big game down here at Glenelg. It is West Adelaide 1 goal straight. They just kicked it, and it would be a kick, first kick in league football to young Brad Kirk, the boy from Loxton. Terrific stuff. But Glenelg have dominated in this first quarter. They are 4 goals straight, 24, so 3 goals the margin, and we've played around about 15 minutes of the opening quarter. We find now it is West Adelaide with control of the ball. They're on the outer side of the ground. Umpire is keeping a close eye on things. Free kick, player held without the ball over there, and a little short kick has found a teammate too. We'll pick up these boys in just it's a fair way from here. Might have been Caruso, may not have been too. The ball is on the ground. Players going in very, very hard once again. No one able to get a clearance this time. Umpire comes in and says it will be mine. So I'm using the borrowed binoculars today, and it's funny, it takes a while to adjust, John. It's all yours.
Half forward for West Adelaide as Kirk, fresh from his first kick and first goal in league football, did the ruck work. Fortunato Caruso's little kick was smothered. Pinozzo tried to come through off half back for the Bays. He did in the end. Amble towards Snoop, was knocked off though by chopped off by his West Adelaide opponent, and they go to ground, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. Attacking side of centre, that was Logan Hill getting up off the bottom of that pack. As umpire Rouston throws it up, attacking side of centre for the Bloods. Taking it out the ruck there was Pettigrew, throw it on the boot towards 50. Mules came out strongly and met it well for the Bays. Handballed more in hope than anything, but ended up with Pinozzo, who whacks it on the boot and goes towards half forward for Glenelg. Kirkby was in front of a group of 3 Bloods players. In the end, the numbers show out as the handball came out looking for Davenport. Snoop knocked the ball away from him, and the ball's out of play there, half forward right for the Bays, who lead by 18 points.
Okay, the big fellows doing battle once again. Let's see, Trevor Cranston will take the over-the-top position. Got the tap out to terrific tap ruckman. Got it across there to Snook, who kicks the ball right up in towards the teeth of goal, up in Grimer territory. And he's taken... It's not Grimer, and it's not even a mark. It will be a free kick, though. It will go the way of Glenelg, and only a few metres out from goal. So the Bays now with a chance to bring up goal number 5. And going back will be Alex Grimer. So it was one of the Grimers. He didn't actually take the mark, but he's got the free kick. He'll kick from only about, I reckon about 20 metres out. 45-degree angle. And if he allows correctly for the breeze, he should have no problems with this one. In he comes. Grimer kicking. He's allowed for the breeze, but I reckon he's off target this time. Didn't bring it back. That was what the problem was. I thought he did everything correctly. Glenelg 4-1-25, leading West Adelaide 1 goal straight 6. We played 18 minutes into the opening quarter. John.
I was just going to say, you can certainly excuse him for missing that goal. He did everything right, aimed for the left-hand post, it just didn't come back. Must have been a real Mullen breeze there.
Morris plays onto himself out of full-back, handballs to Pettigrew, who's been busy early. He goes over the top there looking for McCready, but runs out of room. The umpire's found free off the ball. It's coming back here to Sylvester, and he will take it underneath the scoreboard. He was involved down there in that play when they were clearing the ball out of defence. Just off the ball, he took a clip. He'll take the free. Defensive 50 for West Adelaide. Sylvester kicks towards half back, drops short there, and the mark is taken for the Bays by Todd Grimer. He hands off in the Rudolph direction. He pumps Glenelg back inside 50. Offhand Snoop Crumb nicely, running towards goals, was well tackled. Kerr picked up the loose ball and dived for the safety of the boundary line and found it, of the behind line and found it. Another behind to the Bays there, 4-2-26. West are 1 straight 6.
Waiting now for the ball to be brought back in by Morris, whose name was mentioned in the Sunday Mail today as a possible AFL chance. Mature age players being recruited, although he's not all that old, young Morris. He's, what is he, 21, 22, but terrific player. We saw him in arguably a best on-ground performance against North Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. He was wonderful. As the ball slips through the hands of defenders there, Sylvester was down there, and it's gone through for a minor score. That is a strong breeze. You can see it even sort of blowing the goalpost there, getting a buffeting, a real buffeting. And the windsock up on top of the grandstand, up on top of the scoreboard. Glenelg 4-3-27, Westies 1 goal straight 6. And West Adelaide now to bring the ball out of defence over the head of Davenport. And the mark has been taken here by the Glenelg player, Alex Grimer. Now, he'll kick from around about 53 metres, and I think with this breeze, Andrew Crowell, there's every chance he's going to get the distance.
Yeah, he certainly will. He'll get the distance here. It's just a matter of accuracy. As you said, that wind's doing a fair bit out there at the moment. The Grimer boys have started the game off really well, though.
In he comes, Alex Grimer. He's allowed for the breeze. He's again allowed. Well, he allowed okay for it, I think, but again, it just didn't drift back. So there's a couple of behinds there to Alex Grimer. Glenelg move on to 4-4-28. West Adelaide 1 goal straight 6. We played 20 minutes in the opening quarter.
As West they were working it nicely with handball through Morris and Hill. They came unstuck there, and the ball goes out of play forward 50 arc for the Bays.
Just going to say, Glenelg Footy Club really controlling the airwaves at the moment. 14 marks to 4 currently, and that's being led by Todd Grimer, who's taken 5 of those grabs.
Back into play, forward 50 arc for Glenelg. It was 1 down by Grimer, only as far as Sylvester. His handball missed its target in Beach, allows Allen to mop up for the Bays. He got it back in the 1-2 from Snook, and then from 50, Allen goes back towards the top of the goals. Kirkby claiming the mark. The umpire said he didn't have it for long enough. Handball comes out in the direction there of Snook again. He's taken high by Sylvester, and he'll take the free kick. He's tight up against the boundary there, underneath the scoreboard, which shows Glenelg leading 4-4-28 to 1 straight 6. And Shannon Snoop, well, he's going to line up as though he's having the shot on goal. Quite confidently, 17 minutes gone in this first term. Snoop from 35 out, tight on the boundary, has kicked it wonderfully well. Never looked like missing to when it left the boot. And Snoop has the Glenelg side's 5th. They go to 5-4-34. West are 1 straight 6. And Glenelg, well, they can't miss at the moment. Andrew Crowell as Shannon Snoop grabs his first.
That was a really smart kick for goal there. As we've been saying, that wind's blowing really heavily down towards the southern end of the ground. He was right on the boundary line there, and he just popped it right out in front of the goals, let the wind do the work for him, and went straight through the middle. Glenelg could have asked for a better start. As I said before, some great efforts from Todd Grimer in the forward line, and young Snook's playing some good football as well.
Hitchcock it was, the young Port power player, got the hand pass away there to his teammate in Chris Curran, goes down towards half forward, but free kick to go the way of West Adelaide. They did have the advantage initially. The umpire says no, go back behind the mark, and so West Adelaide now to bring the ball out of defence. So just going across now in the direction of a teammate. It will be taken here by Logan Hill. He went to kick the ball, but smothered by by his Glenelg opponent, and it's gone across the line and out of bounds. So, throw in.
Sorry to jump in. I'd love to know how many smothers Glenelg have had. I reckon they would have had at least 6 or 7 smothers today. They really are showing some desperation when they don't have the football.
You sense, don't you, that Chris Massey has worked on that element of the game. I'm not saying that Mark Nicken didn't stress that, but sometimes a new coach, players tend to respond, you know, where perhaps, who knows what the story was. But they're certainly responding today. As we find it's going to be West Adelaide deep in defence. It will be trapped here, though, by, yes, it will be trapped by young Anderson. Anderson will drop the ball in short. He finds Shane Burse. Certainly one of the most experienced SANFL players on the basis of the AFL career. Was about 70-odd games with Western Bulldogs first, and then St Kilda, combined tally of 70-odd. Goes down towards half-back. There's a good mark taken this time by
Guess who?
Todd Grimer. That's mark number 6. We make it. Terrific first quarter. One of those freakish first quarters. He's kicked a couple of goals too. In towards the centre of the ground we find the Bays. It's Mules who comes out towards half-forward. Ty Allen couldn't quite control what he would ordinarily have just snapped up. Ty Allen, though, went with a hand pass after putting himself under all that pressure, and it's gone across the line and out of bounds. There will be a throw-in 50 metres out from the Glenelg goal. John Nankerville.
Well, Glenelg have done most of the attacking in this first quarter. They lead 5-4-34 to West. 1 straight 6. The ball deep inside their 50. The umpires pulled out a free kick from that boundary throw-in. And it's going to go the way of Webb for West Adelaide. Deep in defence for the Bloods. They need to get some sort of fluid movement going out of defence. They've been very ordinary doing so. They've had to come from inside the defence 50 a lot, but they've done it badly, and nothing's changed in this occasion. Webb's kick has gone out of bounds on the full. Clayfield takes the free for the Bays, wastes no time, pops it up towards Salopek, who's at the forward 50-yard. A little bit of pressuring handballs back towards McMahon, who goes deep inside 50 for Glenelg. Over the head of the pack, it's marked by Beach, who comes away with the ball there for West Adelaide. But again, another turnover coming out of defence for West. Beach's kick is marked by Rudolph. 60 from the goal for the Bays, and Rudolph's got Salopek short if he wants him. He ignores him. He's at left half forward is Rudolph. We've gone 25 minutes in this first term. Rudolph loads up in the end from 60 with the breeze all the way to the goal line. Todd Grimer flew high, couldn't take it. Alex Grimer on the bottom of the pack appealing for holding the ball. Comes out in the end the way of West Adelaide. They work it around nicely with handball. Anderson to Sylvester, Gill involved as well, but in the end a good smother there on the handball from Sylvester and knocking it out of bounds, and there'll be a throw-in in that right forward pocket for Glenelg.
So waiting for the throw-in now. The backdrop of the Glenelg Primary School. Glenelg kicking to that end, and it's favoured by a pretty stiff breeze, and they've done pretty well in this opening quarter. The Bays 5-4-34. West Adelaide 1 goal straight 6. We're approaching quarter time. Umpire Colin Ralston holds the ball up. Now throws it up. Up they go. No one getting a real decisive tap out. There's a snapshot for goal, and I think it is one. A goal to Glenelg. Will pick up that player in just a moment.
It's Cameron Hitchcock.
I think it might have been Cameron Hitchcock, judging by the pats on the back and so forth. And if anybody knows how to snap a goal, it's a little Port Power goal sneak. And he's put it through for Glenelg's 6th goal. 6 goals for 40, leading West Adelaide 1 goal straight 6. As I mentioned, almost quarter time. Would you say the Bays have used the breeze pretty well in this opening quarter, Andrew Crowell?
Oh, I think they have. Just looking at some of the stats there, Todd Grimer, as you said, I can't stop talking about him. He's had a great start to the game. 6 goal, 440 to 1 goal, 6. They certainly have had the majority of the ball in their forward line, so 17 inside 50s to 2 at the moment. So I'd say that breeze has been used pretty handily.
Webb wins it down middle for West Adelaide. McCready grabbed it, handball towards Burse, who was taken high by Agnew. More enthusiasm than anything else. So Shane Burse at half-back for West, chips towards this members' wing where it's marked by McCready. He goes down the line to half-forward, and a good grab is taken by Anderson for West Adelaide. He's at left half-forward. He plays on now. Loads up inside 54 West Adelaide. They haven't done this too often. Young Kurt flew from behind, but was about 3 deep. It came off hands to Rudolph. He kicks out towards half-back. A big body collision there. The umpire has found a free kick going to Mules. It could have gone to a number of players. Just a big clash of about 2 or 3 bodies from each side flying for the ball. Mules takes it at half-back. He chips on to Snoop. He thought about it for a second, but decides to stop, and now he goes short. Tries to run around Anderson there and was taken high. Lucky probably because he was going to ground and Anderson was just a bit high in the tackle. So Snoop, still on this members wing, kicks a wobbly ball to half forward. Top Climber tried to knock it down towards brother Alex, couldn't do so. Morris comes through strongly for West Adelaide. Gives to Fortunato Caruso. Little wobbly kick down the wing taken by Marlon Motlop, who gives to Anderson, who again puts the Bloods to half forward. But getting up and taking a good mark there in defence for the Bays was Curran.
Curran, a boy recruited from Horsham, I think it is, and kicks the ball, goes back with that one across to Panozzo. Panozzo then runs backwards under no great pressure, will drop the ball in short, and the mark's going to be taken here by McMahon. What a terrific player he's been. Out now towards the half-back line. Another mark's been taken, this time by Ben Kane. Ben Kane towards half forward, but it's all West Adelaide, and chipping in front there is Logan Hill, who takes the mark right across half-back. Recruited from the Coburg footy club. There's been a stack of boys from Coburg, haven't there, who've come across this way. And he drops the ball in short, and again we'll find a teammate in Daniel Kerr. As the siren sounds for quarter time, and probably couldn't have come soon enough for West Adelaide, but for Glenelg, they've had a dominant first quarter of the Bays. 6 goals for 40. Leading West Adelaide just 1 goal straight, 6. The goal kickers for Glenelg, Todd Grimer's kicked 2, and then singles to Josh Trembath, Ty Allen, Shannon Snook and Cameron Hitchcock, and the solitary goal for West Adelaide on debut. In fact, probably his only kick in the SANFL so far, young Brad Kirk from Loxton. He's kicked their only goal. So Glenelg at quarter time, 6-4-40, leading West Adelaide 1 goal straight, 6. Special comments from former Crow, former Eagle, and also former West Adelaide player, and also a freezing ground announcer at Amy Stadium last night, Andrew Crowell.
Point 13 goal 5 to 13 goal 6.
Phil Aspinall is over at Woodville Oval for the Eagles Central match. He joins us now to give us a 30-second report on that first quarter at Woodville.
Yeah, thanks, John. Here it's Unleashed Solar over at Woodville. Quarter time, as you said, it is the Eagles, the home side. 4 goals to 26, leading the Doggies 2 straight 12. The Doggies got off to a bit of a flyer, getting a goal early through Daniel Havelberg, also their second goal kicker, Alan Ogg. But the Eagles just gained ascendancy throughout the latter part of that opening term. Certainly their midfield been led brilliantly, by Justin Cicolella. The goal kickers for the Eagles, Scott Lewis, Lee Staple and Adam Strokey. The Eagles just look a bit too potent up in attack with obviously Tipnala out of the side for the Doggies. Could be a bit of a concern. Here at Unleashed Solar over Woodville, it is the Eagles 4-2-26, 14-point leaders over Central 2 straight 12.
And very quickly, David Kemp on the boundary. What did the coaches have to say at the break here at the Bay, mate?
Chris Massey very, very happy with the effort in the first quarter, and particularly looking at contested ball where they were +6. For Westies, just concentrating on hitting targets in the second quarter.
That's probably some good advice as we see West Adelaide doing their best to break from the middle. It was burst to Webb, his wobbly kick to half forward, just out in front of Davenport, and Mules there sees the footy out of bounds, and there'll be a boundary thrown between the outer side wing and left half forward for the West Adelaide side. They trail Glenelg by 34 points, early stages of this second term, as Webb from the side in the ruck won it down. Bayes came out with it again though through Mules. His handball didn't quite find a target. Comes out the way of Bricknell on that outer side wing for the Bays. He's talking about missing targets. Bricknell's handball missed Morris. Morris picked it up. His handball was stolen there by Grimer, who gave to Salopek, back to Alex Grimer, who 55 from goal for the Bays. Kicks to the top of the goals. Trembath running back, couldn't take it. Kirkby running through, socketed it, and touched off the boot in the end. So some desperate stuff there on the last line of defence. Sees a behind to the Bays. They go to 6-5-41, West 1 straight 6.
West Adelaide now with control of the ball, bringing it down now towards the centre wing position. McCready, wasn't McCready, but it went through that player's legs there on that occasion. Wasn't so much his fault, it was Aaron Filkey, another boy from up Loxton way. Loxton North, in fact, was his old club. West Adelaide still forcing the ball forward. It's gone across the line and out of bounds. It's only about 20 metres around from the behind post. West Adelaide deep in attack, and I would say they're breathing a sigh of relief that they've got the breeze behind their kicks this quarter. My goodness, it was tough in that first quarter.
Certainly is. It's very interesting to see both teams have gone with a very standard setup. They're not dropping players behind the ball with that breeze.
There was the throw in there. It is, well, no one really able to break that clearance, and the umpire comes in and says it's mine. Very, very deep in the West Adelaide attacking zone. They'd like to get maximum benefit from this one. So the big fellas to do battle once again. There's the ball up. It's Webb, who I think might have got the tap out there. He's a rookie down at the power. Certainly shows some great promise, young Daniel Webb. Been on the West Adelaide scene now for probably 2 or 3 years. But again, it's all locked up, and there's going to be another ball up. Again, he gets the tap out, or it was Pettigrew there, who might have been grabbed a little bit too high. The umpire says play on. Will be taken this time by the West Adelaide team and knocked through for a minor score. So probably the worst scenario result, because Glenelg now have control of it. It'll be interesting, John Nankerville, to see how the Bays cope kicking into the breeze.
Panozzo chips short into that right back pocket, where the Bays come up with the football. The mark taken there on that occasion now at defence 50 by Rudolph. No real hurry at the moment, Glenelg. They're just chipping the football around. They know they've got the scoreboard advantage, and they know they've got the, I guess, time to look for some open space. They missed an early goal there through Kirkby, touched on off the boot, but they go down that outer side wing now. It's fisted away there from Cranston in the ruck. Ball came down towards Todd Grimer, and a hurried kick along that outer side wing position. Trying to pick it up was Burst for West Adelaide. He couldn't do so. Handball comes out now towards Bricknell at centre-half back for Westies, and he's away and running. Has a couple of bounces. Chips towards half forward. That's better. Finds the target of Anderson, who runs to 50. Kicks long. West Adelaide player and Fisher on the goal line. Didn't bother. Just watched it sail over his head. Anderson gets his first. West Adelaide get their second there. 2-1-13. Glenelg 6-5-41. And a great start as we've gone 4 minutes in the second term, Andrew Crowe. Great start to the Bloods.
It was a great start, yeah. It was a good piece of play. The switch came out of a bit of a congestion across West Adelaide's half-back line, and just a good use of skills. He needed to kick that goal there, Anderson, because he had a player open in their forward line that was screaming for the football. He took it on himself, had the shot from just outside 50 and managed to kick a beautiful goal. A much-needed goal for West Adelaide.
Cranston and Webb doing battle back in the centre of the ground. The big game on 107.9 Live FM. Webb probably got the tap out there. No one able to really break clear except for Kane, who swings it round now. Bricknell almost had control of it, loses control of it now. And the ball is on the ground once again, and West Adelaide will rebound out of defence now. That's good football. It looks like Izard there kicks the ball down towards half forward. Westies again with control there. Pettigrew now with a kick, and he's found Big Webb only about 35 metres out from goal, almost directly in front, and a chance now to bring up West Adelaide's third goal for the afternoon. At the moment trailing by 28 points.
Another good use of skills there as well. Hit the target beautifully. A lot of big breeze out there. Real test with Glenelg in this second quarter. They've, as you said, not with the wind. They're going against it. This will test them out. In comes
Webb now. There's his kick. Beautiful looking kick by the big bloke. He's put it straight through for a goal. Big Daniel Webb, all 196 centimetres, only 21 years of age. And it's the third one for West Adelaide. Glenelg 6-5-41. Westies now 3-1-19. We reckon, Andrew, it's about a full goal breeze, and it's showing that to be the case.
It certainly is. Well, we've been raving about how well Glenelg have been going that first quarter. West Adelaide in this first couple of minutes have come out and done just the same. They've had a real intent about them. They've used the ball well. They've attacked it. They've been able to manage to get the ball into their forward line quickly and have into space. And they're doing the important thing, and that's kicking straight for goal as well. So it'd be very, as I said before, big challenge for Glenelg in this second quarter.
He's thrown off the ball there. Chris Kane should have charged through, was beached for West Adelaide. He lost it. Ball still in dispute. Attacking side of centre for the Bloods. They'll come up with the free in the end to Morris. Don't know if it was his free, but the umpire's paid advantage. He goes inside 50, knocked away there from Caruso, picked up on that occasion by Davenport. His kick was smothered. Came the way there of Filkey, who was tackled, got a high kick in the air, didn't go more than about a metre. Agnew came in, trapped it, and that's where the ball will stay, 45 metres out from the goal of the West Adelaide side, who certainly have been playing quite an impressive brand of football to start the second quarter after being swamped by the Bays in the first term, as Cranston tries to break free from the ruck, unable to do so. And the umpire says we'll ball it up. Still at 50 there for the Glenelg side, the West Adelaide side. Ball hits the deck. Trying to get a handball out was Burse. Going to bust his way through there, young Edwards. Not going far though. And the umpire says, Doug, we'll ball it up again at 50 for West Adelaide and see what he can get going.
So there's the ball up once again. West Adelaide through Kane. Couldn't break his way clear. West Adelaide almost playing the way Glenelg did in that first quarter, kicking the ball long, but also applying plenty of pressure. And I'm sure Andrew Collins would have said something pretty strong to them at quarter time, Andrew Crowell.
I think he may have. I just can't understand why they haven't, either side haven't dropped numbers behind the ball. As we said, there's a 4-goal breeze out there, and they're allowing the players just to run into that open forward line. If I was coaching, I'd have a couple of blokes going right where that ball is going right now into that forward line.
As Daniel Kerr kicks the ball very high in the air, going to be a snapshot for goal by Fisher, the former Carlton boy. 99 games with the Blues, hasn't scored. No, he has scored. He's put it through for a minor score. Pretty spectacular stuff by Fisher too. Westies move along to 3 goals to 20, but trading Glenelg 6-5-41, and in the second quarter we have gone around 7 to 8 minutes. So a pretty interesting stage of the game. John Mankerville.
Is indeed. Has had to pick up first, but it's McMahon with the shorter locks. He shaved the long hair. And he kicks out to defensive 50 from the goal square, off hands, working hard there, young Kurt for West Adelaide. Kicked a goal on debut earlier. Couldn't get it away in the end. Comes away at half forward there for the Bloods of Ezard. His handball was chopped off, ended up going back towards Shearer for the Bloods. It puts West Adelaide towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing ball was nicely gathered in. The handball came out to Caruso from Pettigrew, did the nice gather. Caruso's kick was wide, but luck's a fortune. It's landed down there in the arms of Beach in the left forward pocket for West Adelaide. It was a high wide kick, Andrew Crowell, but Beach all on his own, waiting under it there at silly mid-off.
He certainly was. I'm actually pretty sure that young Caruso didn't mean to go there. I reckon he was having a shot for goal, but once again, a couple of Westies players standing by themselves as he has a shot for goal and manages to kick it straight through the middle, John.
Wonderful kick from Beach. Did it so lackadaisically, a bit like Snook in that first term from a similar distance. Just of a couple of steps, didn't really improve the angle in any way, but banged it through. So Beach puts West Adelaide's 4th on the board, and all of a sudden the Bloods 4-2-26. They trail Glenelg 6-5-41, a 15-point margin. And Jonathan Beach boots his first.
Yes, it was a lovely goal, as you said. So pretty much that same position as we saw the Glenelg player Snook in that first quarter. Very smart kid, let the wind do the work, put it out in front of the goals and just drifted back straight through the middle.
It's young Borholm who may have got the tap out there and trying to burst his way clear was the Glenelg player in Chris Kane, but can't do so, and the umpire says it's mine once again. So it looks like Chris Kane wearing a different Guernsey today. They're wearing the Guernseys that apparently Glenelg used in their first year of football back in 1921. This is the 90th anniversary game for them here today down at Brighton Road. Umpire throws the ball up for the big fellas to do battle again. It's Borholm, very short hair, very sure hands. Got the ball there to a teammate in Ezard. He can't burst his way clear. Umpire comes in and says it's mine once again. The umpire, Colin Ralston, by the looks of things. And he'll get play underway. Vastly experienced umpire, having umpired in the AFL. Up they go, up over the top. The third man up was Beach, but not all that effective with that lead bat again. Umpire Ralston will come in and ball it up once again. I feel as though I've said this a couple of times, you know. Let's see what we can get out of this.
And just as we're speaking, sorry about that, Doug, but it looks like Glenelg now have dropped Ben Mules back in to fill that gap up in the defensive forward line.
As we find it's going to be Westies, no, it's going to be Panozzo this time for Glenelg, who gets the ball, kicks it very high in the air, and the ball has gone out of bounds, and there will be a free kick that will go the way of West Adelaide. Logan Hill, the recipient of that. Looking at the website yesterday of West Adelaide, and he's highly regarded for his skill level. Kicking with the breeze this time. There's his kick, a boy from Coburg in the VFL. Kicks down now towards half forward. This one, though, it sort of drifted away, and it looks like Curran, another boy from Victoria, recruited from Horsham. And he's a big lump of a lad. He's taken the mark, a good solid mark across half back here for Glenelg.
Curran, as Doug Oakley said, half back there at the southern end of the ground, the primary school end. Kick came off hands. It was Alex Brymer's handball out to Chris Kane, to Seller. They work nicely as the little chick kick from Cello finds Ben Kane. He runs to 55 from goal, puts it up to about 35 where Allen was there, knocked away from him. Marlon Motlop grabbed it for West Adelaide, and he was tackled and goes to the ground, 40 out from the Bay's goal. Glenelg 6-5-41, West 4-2-26. We've gone 12 minutes in this second term at the Bay, should I say. It was all Glenelg in the first quarter, but West have come back strongly since the break, kicking 4 unanswered goals.
Ty Allen just coming off the ground, looked like he had a couple of fingers that were pointing the wrong direction there, so he'll have the medical staff popping them back in as we speak. Always a pleasant experience.
As Hitchcock from the bounce down came racing through, sharked the kick, but it was smothered. Came to Agnew, who gave to big Todd Grimer, who threw it on the boot and kicked it out of bounds on the full. That's in fact been touched off the boot, according to the field umpire. As he makes sure we all see that touched, and it'll be a boundary thrown in that right forward pocket, northern end, where the cricket nets usually are. I can see some fans making their way around behind the red fencing there, put up to protect the nets as Grimer rucks and roves. That's Todd. Has he kicked a miracle goal? He hasn't. It's across the face and through for a behind. The Bays, well, they needed a goal. 1 point. They're second for the term. They're 6-6-42. West of 4-2-26.
Waiting now for the ball to be brought back into play. Stephen Morris, been a terrific halfback. If you're picking an SA state team, at state level, he would probably be on one of your halfback flanks or in the back pocket. He's been a great player. A free kick and a 25-metre penalty to be paid here now to West Adelaide. The ball brought back in towards the centre of the ground. West Adelaide again with control of the ball. It might have been Hill this time. Brings it out now towards the centre wing, and Anderson it is. Ryan Anderson has taken the mark. So just waiting on Anderson now to go back. Another boy from Coburg. In he comes, kicks the ball down towards half forward. Up they go. Almost a mark there to West Adelaide. It comes out in the direction of Marvin Motlop. Umpire says it will be a throw-in. No, it's gone across the line and out of bounds. So the big fellas to do battle. Young Edwards down there for Glenelg too. Some of these lads, I'm seeing them for the first time, and it's exciting, you know, seeing some of these youngsters, some of them just teenagers, playing in the SANFL. And as we heard today, young Menzel at 16 years of age playing for Centrals. A kick out of the pack there by West Adelaide, and they've taken a mark right in the teeth of goal. Brad Fisher, the former Blue, the former Carlton Blue, has taken this. He's going to be on a fairly acute angle, but he's only a couple of metres out from goal. And I reckon if he just walked up to within a couple of metres of the guy on the mark, you could just sort of kick it over his head, couldn't you? Wouldn't that be the easy? What would you do, Andrew?
I'd probably go back and do just what he's doing, I think.
I think he's kicked a goal. I think he has. Yes, he has. Made the goal umpire work a little bit. And it's West Adelaide's 5th goal. We've got a game on our hands down here at Glenelg. The Bay still leading, 6-6-42. West Adelaide, 5 goals to 32, 10 points the margin. You're on 107.9 Life FM, Adelaide's home of local football.
G'day, mate. I like your new Fuso truck. What did that set you back? Mate, it was a steal. Only for a canter? Yep. $, light duty canter, all kitted out. $, on the road.
Get unbelievable deals on Fuso run-out stock. 2010 plated canters, fighters and heavies, starting from Fuso run-out deals at CMV Truck Sales Cavan.
Station sponsor.
It's a 10-point lead to the Bays here at Glenelg Oval. We'll go to David Kemp on the boundary very quickly. We saw Ty Allen coming off with some damaged fingers there. Kempy, how's he going?
He's going okay. Todd Grimer now gone to centre half back, I think, or maybe loses some defence, so Glenelg running 2 behind to stop this bleeding at the moment.
And Andrew's got some scores from around the ground. We'll get those in a minute as wind down in the ruck there for West Adelaide by Webby. Sort of ricocheted back to him off Caruso, and he was tackled, the big man. And the umpire says we'll ball it up again. Those scores from around the grounds, Andrew?
I've got one for you, mate. We're looking at the Brisbane Power game, 15-minute mark of the final quarter. It's Brisbane leading 14 goals 7, 91 to the Power 13 goal 8, 86.
As in the middle, Glenelg have found themselves a free kick. Ben Kane comes up with that one. Get some SANFL scores for you shortly. Kane's kick, not a good one, chopped off there by Britnell for West Adelaide. He handballs to Filkey. Now Anderson, who's been good today for the Bloods. He dummies around one from centre-half forward, goes inside 50. Beach had to shield his eyes from the sun, but he was good enough to take the mark. 35 out, 45-degree angle. He is a goal kicker. He's kicked one today already, John Beach. And he'll go back now and line up for his second. And as we check the time elapsed, we've gone 17 minutes in this second term. If he kicks it, West Adelaide down by just 4 points.
He was heading towards Glengarry with that walk back.
He was of a very big run-up. What's he done with the kick? He's hit the post. Just drifting away in the end, banging into the post. One behind for Beach. West Adelaide 5-3-33. Glenelg 6-6-42.
Just a bit of an issue with Glenelg's defence at the moment. They're obviously trying to run off as much as possible. The ball's getting turned over so quickly, and with this breeze, it's just being pumped back in. They need to hold their position in defence. While I'm on the matter, we've got the North Adelaide Sturt score 16 or 17-minute mark. It's North 5-goal 131, leading Sturt 4-goal 630. Another tight game.
The kick out there from McMahon had found Kirkby, took a terrific pack mark. He went on very quickly, and it is Glenelg in control once again, going down now towards the centre wing. And another mark's been taken this time. This is Todd Grimer. Must be about mark number 7 or 8, I think, for the game. Playing, as David Kemp mentioned, as a loose man in defence this quarter. He's kicked a couple of goals up forward, though, and has been very, very dangerous. Now kicking the ball back in towards the centre of the ground. The breeze still a factor down here at Glenelg. The sun is out, by the way, but it's pretty cold. And I'm just looking down there at the Dingham hot dog stand. It's very, very appealing at the moment, too. It's a little bit fresh, even though the sun is bathing the ground in some beautiful winter sunshine. There's the ball up. It is Glenelg getting the tap out this time. Have they got control? No. It's going to beat all players across the line and out of bounds. And the umpire signalling there. Throwing to take place. Let's quickly check the scoreboard. Then a comment from Andrew Crowell. Glenelg 6-6-42. Westies 5-3-33. We have gone 18 minutes into the second quarter. 17-minute mark of the Eagles Central's game of the second quarter. It's the Eagles 4-goal 4-28, leading Central Districts 4-goal 3-27. Some close games in the SANFL today.
They certainly are, as Beach for West Adelaide. Got a handball to Bricknell, and they're away and running through the middle of the ground. West Adelaide, Bricknell's kick inside 50, fisted down only as far as Pettigrew, though, for West Adelaide. Gives to Caruso, and he kicks a goal for West Adelaide. And the Bloods are within 3 points. It's Glenelg 6-6-42, West Adelaide 6-3-33. And the ever-dangerous Fortunato Caruso bangs through his first of the afternoon, and just lurking there, little Caruso, Andrew Crowan came up with the goods.
He certainly did. It was beautiful crumb off the pack. The West Adelaide players are working really hard now. They're working defensively. They're also pushing really hard in their forward line and exposing, I suppose, the lack of work rate that Glenelg have shown this quarter.
Boreham it was who got the tap out. Aaron Filkey goes down towards half forward. West Adelaide playing with renewed vigour and confidence at the moment. Glenelg is on the defence after a wonderful first quarter. Comes down now towards the centre wing. It was Anderson who couldn't get it. Morris, terrific football by Morris. Got it across to Caruso. He's got too much toe and too much power on that hand pass too in the direction of a teammate. Made it very, very hard for him. And Glenelg now will grab the ball. It was Panozzo. Vic Cranston got the hand pass, but he was tackled by Caruso. And Caruso will go forward, and it's going to be a mark to an unattended player here. The West Adelaide player who took that mark looks like Jonathan Beach. It is Jonathan Beach. Saw him a few weeks ago kick those 5 goals against Williamstown, I think it was, in the Foxtel Cup. Yes. He looked terrific. He kicked 4 goals the following week against North Adelaide. It won't be any big surprise if he's on an AFL list next year, and he comes. There's the kick for goal. He is so sure with his kicking. It's put West Adelaide in front. Jonathan Beach's second goal. Westies 7-3-42. Hang on, 7-6 is a 45. And Glenelg 6-6-42. So 45 plays 42. Really, Andrew Crow, it's a case of both teams using the breeze and using it magnificently. You don't always see that.
No, exactly. It's been a complete turnaround to the first quarter. I've got to say that was young Ford Caruso's goal. He chased down, he took the tackle. Glenelg were off and running in that piece of play. He managed to chase hard, take the tackle down, got the ball, then used it really quickly. It was a quick turnover, gave Glenelg, put him on the back foot and basically exposed him for space, and Beach went back and kicked a lovely goal.
Back in the middle, a stoppage. West Adelaide in front for the first time today. As Doug Oakley correctly said, it's been a a first half of two halves, I guess you would say, with Glenelg dominating the first quarter with the breeze and West Adelaide dominating the second quarter with the breeze. As we see umpire Ralston say, we'll ball it up again. He's getting up off the bottom of the pack there. Big Bornholm, tall lad, broad-shouldered, short hair. Goes up against the veteran Cranston, who wins decisively on that occasion. Down towards Davenport, tackled, dispossessed, ball again spills free. And we'll see another ball up. It's Westies 7-3-45, Glenelg 6-6-42. We have gone 22 minutes in this second term. As on that occasion, it was Bornholm who won it in the ruck. Still no clear winner in the middle. No one really giving any inch at the moment. And we're probably very close to that moment when the umpire says, right, we'll fix this, we'll find a free kick. As Salopek off the bottom of the pack hands the ball to umpire Ralston, who throws it high in the air. Cranston won it down straight to Morris. He steams off half-back. His kick wasn't great, but it will come off here. As picking it up and running away was Sylvester for West Adelaide. He goes inside 50. Todd Grimer back in defence, as Andrew Crowd told you. Dropped the mark. But a handball away, only as far as Anderson, who shot it out towards Fisher, who gives to Davenport, who 45 out on the run, tries to bend the kick back with the right boot, unsuccessful in the end, out of bounds on the full, and the Bays will take the free kick through McMahon in the left back pocket. They trailed Doug Oakley after leading by 34 points at the first change by 3 points.
Jordan McMahon, of course, back playing in the SANFL after a very good career with Western Bulldogs and Richmond. He's a lovely kick of the ball. This time he goes short and finds his captain in Ben Mules. The backdrop of the Glenelg Primary School, and looking above that we can see the hills and some blue sky, plenty of it.
Gorgeous day.
It is a nice day. It's got that chill in the air, but it is a lovely winter's day. If you're listening to us on the net, this is our weather here in Adelaide. It's pretty pleasant for the middle of winter. Kirkby now with the ball, drops it in short, and will find his teammate Stephen Salopek, the highly rated Port Power player. Although he's having a bit of a lean trot at the moment. Will find a teammate there and finds him too. It's McMahon racing up from deep in defence. Comes back to Salopek, forced into a hand pass. It was good football again across to McMahon. Great football, McMahon. And courage shown there by Ben Kane, and a 25-metre penalty will go against the West Adelaide player. A bit of a push and shove, and I think it's on now as players run in from everywhere. Yes. Let's see what's happening. It could even get closer to goal if players are not careful. And they're still pushing and they're still shoving. What's the
another 25. Another 25.
So it may well be. Let's see. Can you work out what's actually happening here, Andrew Crowd? You've got your eyes on it?
Yeah, this is a lot of pushing and shoving. I don't mind this. Glenelg have had their backs up against the wall, as of West Adelaide. It's just a show of strength here, really. A bit of stupidity, though, as far as Westies go. They've given away 2 free kicks and a 25 metres and just made it a certain goal in the end. It's still going on out there. It really is just a show of strength. There's nothing gained.
Another free kick.
Free kick to the Bays. There is something gained, I suppose, so they've given it away.
We must just say Ben Kane did score the goal from point-blank range.
And another 25.
And there'll be another 25. This is getting ridiculous for West Adelaide, as the Bays will go to the goal line. And it's Trenbarth who bangs to another goal for the Bays.
Now, you'd think they'd land by now, wouldn't you? There's been 2 goals kicked because of stupidity out there. It's continuing on, and at the moment, Ty Allen's having a good laugh out there because he's just given a little bit of a niggle, and the West Adelaide players are responding to it. Learn something from it. You've given away 2 free kicks and 2 goals in the last 10 seconds, and you've done all your good work and you've lost the lead there. So a bit of silly play from West Adelaide. They just took the bait from Glenelg then nicely.
Well, amazing stuff. We saw the initial free kick all the way back there, through some late contact from the
and another free kick in the middle of the ground.
And the drama continues as the Bays take the free in the middle. Hands off to McMahon, who goes towards 50 for Glenelg. Knocked down off hand. Salopek picks up, runs to 45, and kicks a goal for the Bays. 3 in a minute. 2, the virtue of free kicks. Well, 3 really. Salopek's wasn't a free kick, but it was because of a free kick in the middle to the Bays. And in 60 seconds of football, Andrew Crowd, as the fight continues at centre-half forward for the Bays, West have gone from leading by 3 points to trailing by 15.
It was just silly. I saw exactly what happened. Todd Grimer ran past, I'm not sure who it was in the middle, and just said something to him. the West Adelaide player responded by grabbing Grimer by the Guernsey and throwing him around like a rag doll. The umpires went, "What are you doing? You're holding on." Free kick, another goal. 3 goals in a matter of seconds.
Can there be another one in a few seconds? Let's find out what happens. I think things have settled down just that little bit. There'll be probably a free kick paid fairly quickly here. If things get a bit willing, umpire comes in and says he's going to ball it up once again, and we'll get play underway. So Glenelg now 9-6-60, leading West Adelaide 7-3-45. What a transformation has come over this game. Plenty to talk about. It's a thriller down here at Glenelg. Big Borholm it was who got the tap out. Free kick will go the way of Glenelg. And it seems that the Glenelg voices are a little bit louder. It is a home game for them, and there's a 25-metre penalty paid here because I assume the ball wasn't handed back immediately. And so the free kick paid there to Cranston, feeds off the hand pass here to McMahon, who was a beautiful kick of the football. That's no exception. Terrific mark taken by Morris. He's a good defender, Morris.
He's hurt.
He is hurt, I think. He is hurt. He's get the glasses on him and just see if
he's up. He's very ginger on that left leg.
The blonde-headed Morris.
Back down again on all fours. Doesn't look good.
I've got a feeling somebody else is going to have to take the kick for him, which has happened. No, he's going to... No,
he's coming off.
It looks like he will come off, which is a shame. He's a terrific player, Morris. He really gives a great contest, Stephen Morris. Anyway, the kick now comes out towards half-back. Could have been a free perhaps play there to Webb. Umpire didn't play that one there. Burse is in there trying to get it. Taken by Big Borholm. He's thrown to the ground, and there will be a ball up right down in front of us. The crowd's on their toes. We've got a terrific game down here. Glenelg still leading. 15 points in front now after Westies had hit the front. But that dramatic change coming over the game with 3 goals in the space of about a minute. Phenomenal stuff. Big Webb it was who got the tap out across to Caruso. He's under a lot of pressure. He in turn fed the hand pass out there. It was Filkey down towards half forward. Fair bit of distance, but out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be paid here to Glenelg. Deep in defence, and it will be, in fact, who's got that free kick down there? Is that Grimer? It is Grimer. I thought he was going to kick with his left foot. That's what threw me. So Grimer, John, have a burst.
He goes short and finds Trenbar, who was part of one of the 3 goal scorers, part of the trio in that crazy 60 seconds of play. Here's another one of the goal scorers. Salopek tackled, dispossessed. Ezar gave to Bornholm. The big man did well, but a handball out in the Anderson direction to Thompson. Now McCready, who started all of that interesting stuff off. We'll talk more about it at half-time. McCready gave to Bricknell. His kick inside 50 has been marked by a Glenelg player, and once again, it's Todd Grimer. Deep in defence of 50, he's got Rudolph in the right back pocket, finds that player. Has a bounce, runs out of defence of 50, chips to McMahon at half-back. It's a tad like Ben Hollands with the shorter hair there, McMahon. He chips to centre half-back where Clayfield takes the mark. He gives to Salopek as the siren sounds for half-time. When what has been a very entertaining half of football, capped off by that bizarre 60 seconds which saw West Adelaide, who worked so hard to get in front, having a 3-point lead, was all turned around. 3 goals to the Bays in 60 seconds. Glenelg 9-6-60 at half-time. West 7-3-45. I'd like to recap that for some of the listeners. McCready gave away a free kick there at 50 for a late charge on Ben Kane. A push and shove started. There was a 25 given, another 25 which saw Kane score a goal from the goal line. There was still push and shove as the umpires come off to the boos of the crowd. There was still push and shove after the goal. The umpires granted another free kick to Trenbarth, as we said. He there earned himself a 25 and scored from the goal line. The ball went back into the middle of the ground. A free kick at the ruck bounced Glenelg's way. They went forward and Salopek scored a goal. And as I said, a 3-point lead to West was suddenly turned into a 15-point lead to the Bays as Glenelg come from the field to applause from their fans. Just coming in after Westies left the ground there. We'll go through the goal scorers for the 2 teams. For Glenelg, Todd Grimer has 2, as does Josh Trenbarth, playing very well in just his 4th SANFL game. Singles then to Hitchcock, Snoop, Allen, Salopek and Ben Kane. While for West Adelaide, beats their multiple goal scorer. He's got 2. Singles then to Bradley Kirk on debut, Fortunato Caruso, Ryan Anderson, Brad Fisher and Dan Webb. And a lot to talk about at half-time, Andrew Crow. tried to summarise the events as best I could. That mad minute we had here, which has just turned the game on its head.
Yeah, you did.
The game, which was probably equalled by a very interesting 60-second period there in that second term, which saw the game turned around quite quickly. David Kemp has been on the boundary line for all that, and as the sides break to start the second half, David, what's the conditions down there like leading into this third term?
Well, the wind's been pretty gusty all day, so it's pretty difficult to score at that southern end, the Glenelg Primary School end. But a little spy in the West Adelaide room, and he said Andy Collins was really calm at half-time and just pointing out what they needed to do in the second half. But I think very, very disappointed with that 2 minutes of football, which may have cost them the game.
And it's interesting, you were down there at ground level, mate, while it was going on. I was trying to get down to it, it just kept happening and happening and happening, so we didn't get a chance in. But what was the feel down there, just quickly before the start of the second half? What was the feel down there when all that was going on?
Well, the Glenelg supporters were very, very happy, but I think the Westies supporters were a bit disappointed with the umpiring.
Well, there didn't seem to be too much wrong with it from where we sat, but certainly we're about to start this second half, and we'll catch up with David.
Oh, hello, it's on.
Throughout this second half, and it is on. Doug Oakley sees it off the ball inside the forward 50 for the Bays.
Free kick, I think.
Free kick, the siren sounds. This is unbelievable. The umpire comes running down with the football.
And it's a Glenelg free kick.
That's a Glenelg free kick at forward 50. And there's the siren. The umpire has held the ball off, standing at the forward 50 arc for the Bays, and he's held the siren. Held the ball off and sounded the siren while standing at the forward 50 arc for the Bays at the primary school end. Glenelg have the free kick. It's going the way of Big Todd Grimer. It's against Sylvester, who was holding his face to say that he was a recipient of a bang on the nose. Grimer from 50 has kicked wide, through for one behind. The Bays 16 points they lead by, 9-7-61. West to 7-3-45, and well, didn't get the full reward for the free there, the Bays, but again a very interesting way to start the quarter day.
Very interesting way. I don't think I've ever seen a game, the start of a game and the commencement of half-time where we've seen that sort of thing happen. So a little bit closer to the mic now. There we were. So it was a free kick paid to Grimer, who went back and kicked it behind. But now the ball's in the hands of Logan Hill. Brings it out towards the centre wing position. Looks down here for Big Webb. Over the top was Cranston. Knocked the ball away. West Adelaide with control. Brings it down towards the wing. Caruso couldn't quite take it. McCready gets the hand pass away there to a burst onto his left foot. And it just bounced over the line on the full. Well, it did bounce. It went over the line on the full. Bouncing close to the line. Free kick to be taken by Rudolph, who immediately got it on there to a teammate. And we will see what will happen out of this. So it is Glenelg now. Coming down now towards the half-back line. Alex Grimer with the mark. Doesn't have the high marking skills of his brother, but he's pretty handy. Down towards half. Well, that's a terrific mark taken by Kirkby from 55 metres out. Great effort by Kirkby. I think he's kicked one of the best behinds you'll ever see. He's kicked it from 55. I thought it was going to curl back, to be really honest. That's why I got a bit excited there. And Glenelg move on to 9 goals, 8-62. West Adelaide 7-3-45. And the margin now 17 points. And we have played how many minutes in this quarter? Would be about 3 minutes, I would think, in the third quarter. John.
Spot on, Doug. As the ball back into play at half forward there for the Bays. West Adelaide player in Thompson was up. Pulls down the mark at left half back for the Bloods. And he will take the free. Decides to play on. Goes with the right foot kick down towards this members grandstand wing. Rudolph took the mark. He was in the back of Webb. No, he wasn't, according to the umpire. Well, as it is, Glenelg go backwards to go forwards. It ends with Mules at centre half back, who handballs off to Clayfield at defence 50. He was kicked towards Agnew on the outer side wing. The mark was dropped by him. He recovered well, got rid of his opponent there in Caruso and kicked the Bays inside 50. But a good defensive mark is taken for the Bloods by Pettigrew. He comes out here towards half back on the outer side of the ground and finds Davenport for the Bloods. The power-listed player chips towards the wing. It's a wayward kick, though, and it goes out of bounds on the full, where Allen will take the free for Glenelg. Ty Allen plays on, gets around Caruso pretty easily in the end. Kicks a high ball towards 50. Under it, Bricknell for West Adelaide. Backs back into the pack. No fear there. It's fisted down in the direction of Glenelg's Alex Grimer. He was tackled, dispossessed, holding the ball. And Webb will take the free kick at defensive 50 for the Bloods.
Big Daniel Webb it is now. Goes across the ground to his teammate over there. Let's see what Westies can manufacture out of this one. There was a hand pass that came out there. It's not perhaps the most attractive footy, but they're working into a stiff breeze. Bricknell now with the ball, gets the hand pass away. Westies again with control. McCready, not a hand pass. He'll get it across there to his teammate in Davenport, who ran into a Glenelg player, and the free kick will go the way of the Bays. Down towards half forward they go. On the lead down here, we find it is going to be the player there in Trembar, who's been fairly impressive for the youngster. Kirkby, player falls on top of him. Wet with the hand pass though. Players still going in very, very hard, deep in the attacking zone here for Glenelg. Free kick to go the way of Glenelg. Andrew Crowell saw something that I didn't see.
I was just going to say about Ty Allen, he just had his first disposal since the first quarter. So it probably shows the influence that Ty has over the Glenelg Footy Club. Didn't touch the ball in the second quarter.
He hasn't had the year that he's had in previous years. I know he's won a couple of best and fairest, but it hasn't been his best year. And yet we know he's a wonderful footballer, gets the hard ball, and this is the game that's sort of tailor-made for him really too, isn't it? It's tough, it's rugged.
It certainly is. I'd have him in my side, that's for sure, but you're dead right, he's had a down year this year.
The ball was chopped off from the kick for the Bays there. It was marked deep in defence for West Adelaide. They brought out towards half-back through Sylvester. In the end, his kick went over the head of the pack and out of bounds at half forwards. The Bays come up with it again, and as McMahon goes short to Ben Kane, 55 from goal. Thought about going sideways, goes long inside 50. Kirkby jumps from too deep. Had a couple of guys, and then in the end, off hands to the Bloods Beach, who gives to Caruso, whose kick's searching for Fisher. Was a fingertipper there for that play, but he couldn't quite pull it in, and it's gone out of bounds on the full in the end. And Glenelg will take the free kick left half forward there. Skipper Mules with a strong jaw, the boy from Kalangadoo FC, holding the ball aloft, goes with a long kick towards the hot spot. Grimer's lurking on all sides. Neither could get the football. Sylvester did for the Bloods. Handballed into open space, but it's going to be Chris Kane who'll run onto it for the Bays. He's tackled. Ball went towards Anderson, who threw it on the boot, and doing so found touch. Out of bounds right half forward for Glenelg. They are 9-8-62. West are 7-3-45, and we have gone 7.5 minutes in this third term.
Boundary umpire down with the ball about 60 metres around from the Glenelg goal. The Bays going with the breeze in this third quarter. McCready went with a hand pass there, got it across to Burst, and a burst of speed there. Anderson had the ball. He went with another hand pass, but Glenelg players intercepting. Free kick to go the way of the Bays, though. A player was just grabbed a little bit too high. And Jordan McMahon, usually a lovely kick. That's an absolute shock. It's the worst kick of the day. I'm not going to say that again. As looking further afield for Fisher, he couldn't take the mark. A hand pass came out there from the youngster in young Tom Edwards. He's from down in the southeast too, from Kobe Bowline. In towards centre half forward. Free kick to be paid to Glenelg. And rightly so too. The player was interfered with from behind, and taking that free kick down there, looks like it is going to be Hitchcock. If I got him right, I think it is Hitchcock. Yes, it is. The young power listed player. He's played a few games at the top. Renowned for his goal-kicking ability. He's only a slight frame, as we all know. You would have seen him play in some of the power matches. Cameron Hitchcock, what is he? 68 kilograms. Gee, I'm heavier than that. And he comes, kicks for goal. Beautiful kick, my goodness. I can't kick that well, though. That is a magnificent kick. I know he had the breeze behind him, but it's beautiful, just off the boot. And it's gone through for a goal. Glenelg move along to 10-8, 68, leading West Adelaide 7-3-45, and we've played around 9 minutes of the third quarter.
Yeah, 6 disposals for Cameron Hitchcock and his second goal for the game. Just provided a contest there. He had the ball popped on his head, and the West Adelaide player a bit reckless with his spoil, gave away the free kick, but it was a lovely kick for goal, as we said. Long way out for goal, and just made it look easy. Popped it through, straight through the middle, and that's exactly the start that Glenelg needed for this third quarter.
Talking of 68 kilos, isn't it great, though, that a player with such a slight frame can play at the top level?
I eat about 68 kilos per day, so he's not smaller than me.
As Allen goes forward for the Bays and finds Kirkby, 45 out, 45-degree angle. He's provided a target to some extent today, Kirkby. Often found himself with a couple of opponents to beat. On that occasion, he managed to get free, and he can now line up for what will be a pretty big kick in the context of this game. The Bays out to a 23-point lead, and Kirkby has made that a 29-point lead. Well done, Rory Kirkby. He didn't waste his time. And the Bays just starting to really edge away now. A lot of footy still left to be played. Just about to hit the 10-minute mark of this third term, but it's Glenelg now, 11 goals, 8-74, leading West 7-3-45.
Probably the worst part of his game is his goal kicking, Kirkby. He provides such a strong option up forward. I've got a lot of time for him. Unusual for a left footer. He isn't such a great kick goal, but he certainly made the most of that kick there and put it straight through the middle. Gee whiz, I bet you Westies are ruling that couple of minutes in that second quarter now.
James Seller was up very high for that tap out. Aglington was in there doing battle, but he couldn't break his way clear. Marlon Motlop comes in and applies the tackle. I think he's the only, I think I'm right in saying, the only Indigenous player playing in either side today, and it is the Indigenous round here in the SANFL, as Seller once again got the tap out, and once again Marlon Motlop involved in that passage of play. I think they're the umpire. I reckon he got that wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was a bit quick on the whistle there.
I don't think there was prior opportunity. If there was, it was a split second, but we're not going to be too hard on it was Colin Ralston, and he's a good umpire, but we reckon he was a bit quick. There will be a 25-metre penalty applied here, and another set shot for goal by Cameron Hitchcock. Now, somebody was held, I think. They must have been off play, and so the umpire says down the ground, so this brings Hitchcock from within probably kicking range to definitely within kicking range. He'll kick from about 30 metres out directly in front, and he should have no problems in scoring his third goal for the afternoon. And he comes, a little goal sneak from Glenelg, and also from the... He doesn't look like missing when he lines up. Magnificent kick for goal. I know he wasn't far out, but it just looks so effortless. And good players make it happen like that. Glenelg now move along to, let's see, is that 12 goals, 8? 12 goals, 8, 80. Leading West Adelaide 7-3-45. 3 goals to Hitchcock. And, well, I tell you what, this gap is opening up now, Andrew Trow.
Certainly is. If I was Andy Collins, and I know I'm not, but I'd be heading down to the whiteboard post-game and writing discipline on the whiteboard, because there's... I'd like to know how many goals that West Adelaide have let through from 25-metre penalties and just no discipline at all. So they need to get that in check, and it's not something that's hard to do.
Another free kick in the middle. It was young Shearer just onto the ground, getting high on Agnew there. Agnew took the kick short to Mules at half-forward. His kick will bounce through for a goal. Wonderful goal, Ben Mules. He took that free from left half-forward on the point of the square. So we're talking about a 70-metre kick in the end. And it has bounced through for a goal. The Bays are going on their merry way. They lead by 41 points. You're on 107.9 Live FM, Adelaide's home of local football.
G'day, mate. I like your new Fuso truck. What did that set you back? Mate, it was a steal. Only for a canter? Yep. $. Light duty canter. All kitted out. $. On the road.
Get unbelievable deals on Fuso run-out stock. 2010 plated canters, fighters and heavies, starting from Fuso run-out deals at CMV Truck Sales Cavan.
Station sponsor.
Welcome back here to Glenelg. Sorry, I was just watching the action on the outer side. Marlon Motlop it was, who had the ball, but a lovely one-handed mark taken by the Glenelg player down there. Rudolph it was. Terrific stuff. And Glenelg now with control. Big James Seller hasn't really been the player that we thought he might have progressed into, but there's still years ahead for him. He's been pretty handy today, playing as the second ruckman for the Bays. And just at the moment, we're watching...
I was going to say David on the boundary.
David on the boundary. We're watching him also. Let's go down. David Kemp.
41 points. Of course, the largest margin for the day. Glenelg led by 35 at the beginning of the second quarter, but leading by 41 at the moment. And Westie's finding it pretty hard to get back from here.
There we go. About 14 minutes into the quarter. There was a late bump applied, I thought, there by Pettigrew. And young Snook went down. Pettigrew just looking back behind him and just running off. But the umpire let that one go, and the ball is out of bounds. There will be a throw-in 50 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They're kicking with the breeze in this third quarter and making good use of it too. They've added something like 4 goals, and Westies have not kicked a score in this quarter. It's probably a 4 or 5 goal breeze, and both teams have used it very well today. There's the throw-in. Umpire says it's going to be mine once again because a big pack just simply formed. There's been a lot of ball-ups because of the nature of the game. The breeze is just certainly doing that. Getting up over the top there, we find the ball is thumped further afield here by the Glenelg team. It was Chris Kane who's wearing number 27 today. They're wearing the heritage Guernseys, the ones they wore back in 1921. They've washed them a few times since then. And it will be Grimer having a shot for goal. Todd Grimer, a snapshot for goal, and he's put this one out of bounds on the full. Second time for the afternoon for Todd Grimer. He's kicked 2 goals, 2 and 2 out of bounds on the full. Glenelg lead 86, West Adelaide 45, and we played around 15 minutes of the third quarter.
As Beach, who's West's leading goal kicker for today, kicks out from the right back pocket on that occasion. The ball off hands. Glenelg come up with it. Edwards, the youngster, gave to Seller, who gave to Panozzo, goes back to Seller. He's wrapped up there on the outer side wing, holding the ball, the umpire says, and the Bloods will take the free kick there through Morris. Geez, a real goer out there, Morris, for West Adelaide. But it's Filkey. But I mean, why I was hesitant because, of course, we saw Morris limp off with that ankle, so it was, in fact, Filkey who did the tackling. Haven't seen Morris since that angle issue in the second quarter.
Just about to come back on, John.
Well, there you go. Filkey's kick at top of the half back by the Bays. Clayfield gave to Snoop, who gives to Kane, gets it back in the 1-2. A defensive 50 Ben Kane comes towards his members' wing. Sandwiched in between a couple of West Adelaide players was young Trenbar, who's kicked a couple of goals today for the Bays. Was fisted away from him though, and there'll be a throw-in on this grandstand side centre wing position right in front of the interchange benches.
And more importantly, right in front of us, as Borholm was who got the tap out, got it across to Daniel Kerr, kicks the ball long, right up in towards the teeth of goal. Players knocked over there. Here's a chance for Westies. A flying snapshot for goal there by Filkey. A clever hand pass over the player's head. Let's see what comes out of this. Can Westies make something? They can. They kick the goal through Davenport. A much-needed goal against the whole tide here. And Westies needed that one if they ever needed a goal. West Adelaide's 8th for the afternoon, but they still trail by a lot. Glenelg 13-8, 86. West Adelaide 8 goals, 3, 51. The margin 35 points. And we are now at the 17-minute mark of the third quarter. The sun is out on the ground at the moment, and the sun will be shining on the faces of some of the West Adelaide supporters after that goal. Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, much needed goal there. Just a bit of composure from the West Adelaide Footy Club. A lot of Glenelg players around the ball, but they were able to find a little bit of space and a good snap over his head for a 6-pointer.
As the Bays move quickly from the middle, Panozzo got the centre break to Salopek, who from half forward puts Glenelg inside 50. Beach, who seems to be playing in defence after spending the first half up forward, grabbed the footy. He then made no real attempt to get rid of it. The umpire has rightly pinged him for holding the ball. The new interpretation we've seen, we say it's new, it's 14 weeks old, the season, but they certainly look at it the way they do in the AFL. The player lies on the ball or seems to drag in and make no attempt. He'll be gone every time. That's what the umpire felt Beach did. So free kick to the Bays, and it's going the way of Todd Grimer, who kicks for goal. 45 out, 45-degree angle. It's a close one, King, but the umpire is happy. He gives the two-finger salute, and the Bays get their 14. 14-8, 92. West 8-3, 51. Back to that game-high lead there of 41 points. We've gone 18 and a half minutes in this third term, and that was Todd Grimer's third goal, his first since the first term.
He's been outstanding, easily the best on the ground today. He's had 20 disposals, taken 8 marks, 3 tackles, and kicked 3 goal 2. He's been a force up forward. He's gone back to centre half back when Westies have been going with the breeze. So great game. The best part about his game is the way he started as well. Just came out of the blocks, provided a real option, and really took that leadership role and had some real intent. As we see another free kick, John, in the centre square.
In the middle, and Doug, it's going to the Bloods.
It is going to the Bloods. You can hear the ironical cheers as big Daniel Webb kicks towards centre half forward, but a terrific mark taken by the Glenelg skipper in Benny Mules. That was just one of those good, strong overhead marks. Fed off the hand pass there to McMahon. I love McMahon's kicking. He just seems to kick the ball beautifully. It is. He's a left footer, a bit like a cricketer. You know, the left-hand batsman playing the hook shot or the cover drive. I'm not sure that the analogy's all that perfect, but you know what I mean, don't you? The left footers and the left-hand batsman, they just seem to stand out. Benny Mills, it comes back to him. And so Glenelg have got control once again. That was a little bit sloppy on that occasion by the youngster in Clayfield. Another boy from down. They've done well in their recruiting zone, Glenelg. I mean, he's another boy. He's from Penola. He'd be used to this coolish weather too. But Betty Mule's the captain, of course, from down in the southeast. And there's probably about 4 or 5, maybe even half a dozen boys from the southeast who are playing here today for the Bays. It's interesting that the major centre down there, Mount Gambier, I have a feeling that Mark Ruwald is one of the few who it would be a regular senior player that comes from Mount Gambier. Most are from the smaller areas down there. As the action now with a couple of the boys, Marlon Motlop was one and the other one was Chris Curran, and it's beaten them both across the line. It's about 40 metres out from the West Adelaide goals. They're going towards the city end, and they would desperately love to score another goal now. Down by some, we got the margin, 41 points at the moment. West Adelaide have got control. Caruso has a shot, a left foot snap shot for goal, but he's just off target. Couldn't even get it through for a minor score under a lot of pressure. And it's out of bounds on the full. Andrew Crowell.
Just got a score update from the Eagles Central's game. 21-minute mark of the third quarter. Eagles 8 goal 4-52, leading Central Districts 7 goal 8-50.
As the Bloods go back inside 50, Thompson to Izard. His kick was nice, but diving through or flying through really was Rudolph there on the last line of defence to take the mark before it went through for a goal. He goes back to Winston, came out towards halfback, and Ty Allen takes the mark. He handballs off towards Hitchcock. He's kicked 3 today. He goes short to Cranston, who was taken high and late by Webb, and he'll get a 25-metre penalty. And he'll get another one too.
You can't do that, my friend.
Webb pushing Cranston as they ran forward, and the umpire said, well, leave him alone, another 25.
You be careful, you're going to do it again.
So he's got a 50-metre penalty.
You're going to cop another one, mate.
Well, I reckon, no, what's happened here, I reckon he's got a 25 for the initial one.
Yes.
And, well, no, I think it probably works out at about 50 in the end. But he's gone from basically half back to about 30 out from goal.
It was soft, but it's there. It's a rule. You just can't stop the player when that's happening. So
Cranston at goal. The kick is an ordinary one. It's hit the post. It looked ordinary when it left the boot, and it thumped into the big left upright there, right under the face of it for a point. 14-9-93. That's Glenelg West 8-3-51. Andrew Crowell.
just a quick score from the North Sturt game. 23-minute mark. North Adelaide 8 goal 3-51. Trailing Sturt 8 goal 8-56.
I'm just thinking of Trevor Cranston there. You sense that he's not all that used to kicking for goal, not even used to kicking that often. It's usually the hand pass, isn't it?
They're surprised someone like a Hitchcock didn't run behind him and get the handball off and had a cheap little shot there.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it was tailor-made for that, wasn't it? But then again, when you're 30 metres out...
That's right. Yeah, but you want them to have a shot at goal.
Exactly, yeah. Anyway, there is a shot for goal. It's on the outer side of the ground. I'll pick up this player in a moment. It is a fair way from here. Got the
Salopek.
It is Stephen Salopek too. Comes in and kicks the goal. He is a beautiful kick of the football. Trevor Cranston, that's how you do it. 50 metres out, more or less on the boundary line. He's put it straight through the middle. That was just magnificent skills. Glenelg move on to 15 goals, 9-99. Leading Westies 8-3-51. Second goal for Stephen Salopek. He kicked one in that barrage of goals. That controversial time in the third quarter. Second quarter. What are we in now? We're in the third, aren't we? That's right, I'm not going home yet. But it is a big lead at the moment now to Glenelg, and we've played something like 24 minutes into the third quarter. John.
Yeah, it's very hard to see the Bloods getting back from here, even if they do have the breeze behind them. That was... Looked like they dodged the bullet there with the 225s to Cranston hitting the post. They then brought the ball back into play, kicked it out of bounds on the full, and as Doug Oakley told you, Salopek really made them pay. So the Bays try to go forward again. West Adelaide play on top of that football. The Glenelg fans want a free for holding the ball. The umpire says, well, actually, I'm going to give him a free for pushing the back, and you saw why, because it's like the bucking bronco when he got up there, Davenport. He had to remove Snoop from on top of him as he goes out to the outer side wing, Davenport, and finds McCready, who can put West inside 50, but good defensive mark taken by Rudolph. He's done that on a number of occasions, just flying in front of the pack or flying through on the last line of defence. He handballs off to McMahon, who kicks beautifully into the arms of Ben Kane here at right half back. He's got a man all on his lonesome on this members wing in Chris Kane, his brother, who handballs off to the run of Panozzo. His kick was good. Trembath is impressive every time he gets the football. Took that one close to the ground. He goes inside 50. Grimer Todd on his own, just about 5 metres in front of Sylvester, and that was enough to take the mark 30 out, 45-degree angle. And he'll go back, and if he's accurate, he will put the Bays up by in excess of 50 points. 54 points to be exact, but it really has been the Todd Grimer show today, hasn't it, Andrew? A lot of the footy and 3 goals.
It certainly has been. He's been fantastic. Hats off to Rory Kirkby there. That's just how you want your forwards to be working together as a team. Kirkby just put a block on which stopped his opponent and Grimer's opponent from getting anywhere near that.
Voice looks like young Trembath coming off the ground, limping. As Grimer's shot on goal, well, we've given him a big rap. He's let us down away to the right, one behind. So he stays with 3 goals. Glenelg go to 15-10, 100. They break the ton. West is 8-3, 51. That's a margin of 49 points. And we've gone 26 minutes in this third term.
Free kick or a mark, actually, to West Adelaide. Deep down in defence. Looks like Sylvester, is it, who's got that one? And then a 25-metre penalty was applied after that. Sylvester will drop the ball in short, and he's found a teammate too in Shane Burse, former Western Bulldog and St Kilda player. Had a bad run last year when he came across here, but it's terrific to see him playing such good football with West Adelaide. He's a good player. He in turn will find a teammate. Is that young Filkey out there?
Yep.
Yes, it is young Aaron Filkey, one of the young players from up in the Riverland, which has been a very, very fruitful area, as we all know, for West Adelaide. They were debuting young Kirk today, who with his first kick kicked a goal. Hasn't done a lot since then. It might even be his only possession for the game, but he's obviously a young lad with a lot of potential. The ball's out of bounds on the outer side of the ground. We're approaching 3/4 time. Cranston and Webb doing battle out there. The ball all locked up once again. There's going to be another ball up, which gives me the opportunity to give you the score at the 26-minute mark of the third quarter. Glenelg 15-10, 100. West Adelaide 8-3, 51. So 49 points the margin. Westies will come home with the breeze in the last quarter. And it's certainly been favouring the southern end, the primary school end down here at the Bay. Glider roller. I'll get the statement out. Formerly known as Glenelg Oval. Lighter Roll Stadium.
That's the one.
Oh, goodness me.
Well played.
Yes.
I was just thinking, gee whiz, that runner's got bow legs. Turn around, Ken Costa. Everyone will recognise the very recognisable Ken Costa's running style.
As the Bays have the footy at half back, it's with Allen. He chips towards young Edwards, who attacks the footy well. And in the end, though, Ezard was up to the task. He got a handball out, but well done, Mules. Sliding in there, grabbing the footy at defence, 50, handballing back towards Rudolph. Will get it free in the end. Handballs to Curran, who's got Salopek at half-back right. He kicks down the wing position. A great contest for the football there, and it has resulted in a great grab to Kirkby for the Bay, down there in front of the interchange gate. Salopek looking a bit ginger as he comes off. Kirkby's kick is a good one. It's marked there by McMahon at right half forward. He swivels around on the left boot, goes inside 50, knocked away from Todd Grimer, but straight into the arms there of Ben Kane, who snaps bouncing behind for the Bays, and in the end hit the base of the post, and has put them up to 15-11, 101 to West, 8 goals, 3, 51. And the Bloods, they brought it back into play, they made an absolute meal of it, and it's gone out of bounds. Right forward pocket for the Bays.
I just wanted to quickly touch on that grab Kirkby took it for as well. I don't think we gave it as much credit as it needed. He was at full pace, had 2 Westies blokes on him, and just his hands to hold on to that strong contested mark. Just been so powerful. When we look at the stats, I think Glenelg have had about 60 marks to 40 or something along those lines.
There's a free kick going here to West Adelaide. Logan Hill, who showed terrific courage, putting his head down there and diving somewhere near the ball, and he was grabbed a little bit high, but his kick has fallen short of a teammate. The mark has been taken by Kirkby once again, was it? Goes down towards half forward. It will be trapped here by West Adelaide deep in defence. Let's see if they can bring something out of this. Down towards the wing, looking there for Martin Motlop, and the ball's gone out of bounds and out of play. and a throw-in to take place.
68 marks Glenelg to 35 West Adelaide at the moment, so they're really dominating in the air.
Yeah, fair indication. And Todd Grimer, how many marks for him? He's taken a dozen or so?
He's taken 9 grabs. McMahon's taken 6. Rudolph 9. So actually Rudolph has played a superb game down back.
I was going to say Rudolph and McMahon have just been superb down there across half-back. But yeah, I would say he's probably the top 3 players on the ground, Rudolph.
Yeah, McMahon's had 7 possessions this quarter as well.
Yeah, been terrific. This time it's going to be Panozzo who gets the ball, feeds off the hand pass, and the kick will come out now towards the half-back line. The mark's been taken by Rudolph once again.
And gave it to McMahon. Will
land somewhere near the hands of big James Seller, very close there to the dugout. He's tackled strongly by the player at Anderson, knocked across the boundary line, and the throw-in to take place once again. So the big fellas to do battle just down here in front of our broadcast point. We'll see what comes out of this one. There it is. It's grabbed here. There'll be a free kick that will have to go against the Glenelg player. I thought it was against because he grabbed the ball from the throw-in. Did you think he was ridden into the ground, Andrew?
I thought it was a bit high, but yeah, he did take it out of the air and probably holding the ball.
The player there, he may have been grabbed a bit high. It was Chris Kane, actually, who went up there, who's not ordinarily known as a ruckman. Anyway, there's going to be another kick to be taken here by West Adelaide, and the player is Brad Fisher. Been fairly quiet.
Rudolph
again, terrific stuff. Across half-back, I mean, he's played a lot of football at full-back. He's been used to playing on taller players, and almost a bit of a luxury, if you can say that, playing across half-back. Been a terrific game, but three-quarter time down here at the Bay, the Glider Roll Stadium, and Glenelg lead 15-11, 101. West Adelaide 8-3, 51. The margin 50 points at three-quarter time. And
third term, the Bays lead 15-11, 101 to 8-3, 51, a margin of 50 points. Just before we go to Phil Aspinall at Woodville, some scores around the grounds there. Andrew Crow.
Yeah, we're into the first minute of the last quarter for the North Adelaide Sturt game, and it's Sturt leading 10-goal 868 to North 8-goal 351. Bennett's had 25 disposals and Allen 23 for North. Gum and Miles 23 and 19 respectively there, so looks like Sturt are playing some reasonably good football.
No worries at all as we cross now to Phil Aspinall for a quick 30-second update from Woodville Oval.
Yeah, thanks, John. We're about 3.5 minutes into the final term here. Currently scores are 9-7, 51 for the Eagles, 7-9, 51 to the Dogs, so a 10-point lead in favour of the Eagles. At three-quarter time, the scores are 8-6, 54 to 7-8, 50. The Eagles did have the favour with the 3 or 4 goal breaks in that third term. The Doggies are coming home with it as we speak, and it was all set up here to be a fantastic finish here at the Unleashed Solar over Woodville.
No worries, Phil. Thanks for that, mate. We will catch up again at the end of the contest to hear the final scores. We'll give you some scores throughout the day there, throughout the last quarter there from Woodville Oval. It's fair to say we haven't got the close one here at the Bay, with Glenelg up by 50 points, should I say, at the final change. But we are underway in the last term as Bornholm jumped high, but Seller outpointed him on that occasion. Ezard it was, though, for West Adelaide, winning the footy, should I say, kicking inside 50. Filkey claiming the mark. Umpire Gary Feeler coming through and saying it was touched. Aaron, it was touched, and I'll take it 45 out from the Bloods' goal and bounce it down. As Bornholm and Seller with the 2 short haircuts, shaved heads, jostling in the ruck. Burst had it, lost it. Bouncing football picked up now there by young Edwards. He got a handball of sorts out in the direction of Seller. He couldn't take it. Ben Kane could. His kick was miraculously grabbed there by Clayfield, who gives to Seller. And now the Bays go towards the forward, half-forward arc, where at the back of the pack, the ball comes to the Bloods player there in Kerr. Kerr kicks around the corner, trying to find the boundary line, and does so in the end. Logan Hill, quite happy to see it go over there for West Adelaide. There'll be a throw-in about 70 metres around from the Bays' goal. They led by 15 points at half-time, but a 6-goal-to-1 third term, so that lead stretched out to the 50-point margin we see in the early stages of this final term as Panozzo puts Glenelg inside 50. Kerr knocks it away from Trenbarth, who's back on the ground, the youngster, limped off late in that third term. Diving into the football there was Hitchcock. He couldn't grab it. Still at ground level. It was Caruso who had the tackle applied on him. And the umpire says we'll ball it up. 35 out from the Bay's goal. Right over there in that right forward pocket. Probably about the furthest point away from the commentary box. Northern end of the ground, Jetty Road end. Again, tough in the clinches. Coming up with it on that occasion there was Morris, who still looks a bit ginger. Hits it back in the 1-2 from Sylvester and gives to Burse, who kicks high towards half-back where Mules quite comfortably takes the mark for the Bays and will again put them forward. Look at Hitchcock's come running out on the lead, screaming for the football, but Mules has ignored him. He's gone to the hot spot, back of the pack. Sylvester there did the disciplined thing and fisted it through for one behind there to the Bay. So they go to a 51-point lead, the first score of the final term, as Morris brings the footy back into play out towards defensive 50. He finds Filkey out there with the footy for the Bloods. Ezard, pardon me, with the footy for the Bloods. He goes towards the wing position. McCready caught behind. Bay player chips in and takes the footy. He's away and running. That's Pinozzo. Goes inside 50 and Hitchcock, who's kicked 3 today already, takes the mark. He's about 45 out. Probably about a 55-degree angle round there on the right forward pocket. That right forward pocket we were speaking about a moment ago there, the northern end of the ground. And he's quite confident, as we've seen with his set shots for goal. He's kicked 1 in the first and 2 in the third. And anything inside 50, which this one certainly is, he favours himself as Hitchcock lines up and kicks a point. Hit the post in the end. 1 behind the Bays. They lead by 52 points. It's Glenelg 15-13, 103. West 8-3, 51. 3.5 gone, final term.
Stephen Morris now to bring the ball back into play. It's a very, very long kick, but a good mark has been taken in the centre of the ground here by Glenelg. It was Curran. Curran now will drop the ball in short, and he will find another teammate. Is that Pinozzo out there? He too is shielding his eyes from the sun. As in he comes, kicks the ball long. Goes down towards half-forward. Big leap from behind there from Kirkby. Couldn't take the mark. The ball is on the ground. Grimer was in there battling hard for it, and he's battled hard for it all day. He's been a terrific player, Todd Grimer. 3 goals, 3 is his return, and you might say for a key forward, that's pretty good. But he's also played in defence, and he took all those big grabs in the first quarter when the game was up for grabs. Ty Allen got the hand pass away there. West Adelaide struggling at the moment as Glenelg just seemed to have the ball almost on a string. A left-foot snapshot for goal. It's through. It is a goal here to the Bays, and the boy who's kicked that one is it Hitchcock again?
I reckon it might be.
I reckon it might be Hitchcock. He's the one who's been surrounded by the pats on the back. That's goal number 4 to Cameron Hitchcock, and I think that's why he's so valuable. He may not have the possessions that some other on-ballers have, but my goodness, near goals, he's so good, and that's why the power like him. Glenelg 16-13, 109. West Adelaide 8-3, 51. That's a pretty big lead at this stage of the game. What have we played? About 5 minutes into the final quarter.
Correct. 4 goals to Hitchcock as back in the middle. Burse gets the clearing kick for West Adelaide, but well, in the end it did find a target there in McCready. He had to go into a couple of times before he could get it out towards Hill, who kicks towards half forward. Juggling mark taken there by Pettigrew, who started well early, but like a lot of West players has faded. Though he's been okay. He's come on this occasion to the top of the goal square. Bornholm came through very high, the big ruckman, and has found himself, well, not him with a free kick. He's lucky he didn't decapitate someone the way he came through, but Fisher at the front of the pack was interfered with there by Rudolph, and so Fisher will take the free, top of the goal square for the Bloods. They've scored only 1 goal in this second half. That was through Davenport midway through the 3rd term. Fisher should not miss from here. The former Carlton player bangs through the goal for West Adelaide. And it is in fact Fisher's second for the day. 1 in the second and 1 in the third as we check the score here at the Bay. Glenelg 16-13, 109. West getting 1 back there. They're 9-3, 57. And you're 107.9 Life FM with Andrew Crowd.
Yes, well, he hasn't had too many opportunities, Brad Fisher, down there on the forward line, to his credit, but he's kicked a couple of goals. Not really sure what that one was for, the free kick, but he had the easiest of set shots at goal and put it straight through the middle. Just an update on the Collingwood and Hawthorn game. It's all over. Collingwood got the Bickies, 15 goals, 16, 106. Defeated Hawthorn, 9 goal, 11 at 65.
No updates on the Saints and the Kangaroos at this stage, Andrew?
I haven't yet, but I'll give Paul a nudge in the ribs and tell him to...
They probably haven't started, that's why. I was just thinking it's a twilight game. Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
0 goes 0 to 0 goes 0 at this stage.
I'll look at this now as Ben Kane gets the ball. That is terrific football by Glenelg, transferring the ball from one end of the ground to the other almost. And the mark's been taken by Kirkby. Now he's kicking into the breeze. He'll kick from about 40 metres, I would think. So it's going to take a pretty good kick. It will favour his left foot, though. And being a natural left footer, the backdrop there, magnificent. As I look across toward the hills and the Norfolk Island pines, it is superb. In he comes. There's the left foot kick for goal. It was close, but not quite close enough. And he puts it through for a minor score. So a little dash down in that column. 1 goal, 2 is his return this afternoon. And Glenelg 16-14 lead Westies 9-3. So the margin now 43 and 9. That's 52 points. Shane Burst it is who burst away. He's been a handy player today. Lovely disposal. Gets it on there to his teammate. And that will be a kick further down the foul ground. Number 55, the boy there in Kirk. Hasn't had a lot of touches today, but did kick a goal with his first kick. Here's a chance now for West Adelaide. I think they've scored a goal. They have. And Filkey it is who has kicked that one over his shoulder. And he's put through a much-needed goal here for the West Adelaide supporters. Glenelg still well in control. 16-14, 110. West Adelaide, 10 goals, 3, 63. And we've played, I make it about 8 minutes into the final quarter.
And David, just down on the boundary, mate, I meant to go to earlier, but I was interested in what the coaches did have to say at three-quarter time.
Andy Collins talked tactics for about the first 2 minutes and then said something about not losing face in this last quarter. And those 2 goals will help Westies not lose face in the last quarter. For Glenelg, it was very, very different. They were very tight for the first 2 minutes before Chris Massey got down there, and he just reinforced the good play that they put on during the game.
As the Bays go forward inside their forward 50 arc, and Trenbar takes a great mark. Until there was a huge body clash back there at half forward. Bricknell and Thompson came through for Westies, sandwiching Kirkby in the middle. Didn't stop the Glenelg forward momentum rush as Trenbar has marked 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. He's kicked 2 today already, Trenbar. He kicked the middle goal in that mad minute there in the second quarter, where Glenelg scored 3 goals in 60 seconds, 2 courtesy of 25-metre penalties. And Trenbar on this occasion makes no mistake. He bangs through his 3rd, and Glenelg get one back after, as David Kemp told you, a couple of goals early in this final term of the Bloods. Glenelg 17-14, 1-16, West 10-3, 63. And Trenbar there getting his 3rd goal, has one in the first, one in the second, and one in the fourth.
It's been handy up for Trenbar. I mean, you've got the likes of Kirkby and Todd Grimer up there, who've been 2 really big focal points. Trenbar, he's now starting at full forward. He's only had the 7 possessions, but he's kicked 3 goals, so he's been very handy. And he takes the 3rd best defender from West Adelaide, so pretty handy 3rd best forward up there, and he's kicked 3 goals and been dangerous.
Well, 7 goals in 4 matches. If he was a soccer player, he'd be a sensation. There's the ball up once again to get play underway, and I think there'll be another ball up coming out of this one, which there will be, out in the centre of the ground here. Ground that saw the Chappell brothers, of course, show their skills with the bat and the ball. And they were playing with Glenelg, and there's been some pretty handy cricketers that have come through the club down here too. Some pretty handy footballers too, I might add. The name Kernahan is one that comes to mind, but there's been a few others as well. Another ball up once again, this time just on the attacking side so far as West Adelaide is concerned. We're at around about the 10-minute mark of the final quarter. Glenelg well in control of the game, leading by 53 points. The ball now in the hands of West Adelaide. Here's a chance now. Let's see if they can make something of this one. Marvin Motlop, who they tell us has got terrific skills, made the transfer across from North Adelaide, of course. He's power listed. There was the ball in the hands of Marvin Motlop once again. Shows it to an opponent, got it across to a teammate. Big kick in the direction now of Pettigrew. Couldn't take the mark, and I think it's going to be knocked through for a minor score. So West Adelaide 10-4, 64. They trail Glenelg 17-14, 116, and this looks like it might be a win to your workmate Chris Massey. Your workmate Andrew, that is, of course. Yeah, so it'll be his first win as coach of Glenelg.
He might be in a better mood this week at work. I was just going to touch on Marlon Motlop. He's only had the 4 disposals today. He just needs to do more. I haven't seen a lot of him, and when I have seen him, I haven't seen a lot from him. So been a bit of a disappointment really for Port Power and West Adelaide and North Adelaide. Yeah,
I guess it's one of those days. It's pretty hard for a fringe player like him to really get into a game like this. But I do agree with your observation. He just at the moment seems a little bit lost in his football career, which is sad because I saw him play a game. Another former North Adelaide and power listed player there in Wade Thompson. I remember I saw them play a game against the Eagles a couple of years ago, and gee, they were on song that day. And obviously a lot of talent with Marlon Motlop, and hopefully we will see that as the Bays through Hitchcock go off half-back, only as far as Bricknell there, though, for West Adelaide. He shoots into the middle of the ground where he finds Davenport. Davenport kicks out towards that half-forward line there, over the head of the charging Beach, picked up by Mules. He thought about going over the line and decides probably the safest course, the Bay captain, and there'll be a boundary throw-in, 55 metres out from Westie's goal.
I was going to say, Marlon Motlop, 21 years of age. Forget about that as well. He's only a young kid at this stage. I hadn't even been drafted by the time I was 21, so there you go. It's just maybe a late bloomer. Let's hope so.
Well, I'm 32 and a half, and I'm still waiting to get drafted.
Give it up, mate. Give it up. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll keep my fingers crossed, but I'm not sure.
I reckon a kick after the game might convince them otherwise, John, or it might just confirm why.
Yeah, exactly.
His name is Nankiville. If you're looking for a key forward, here we go. The action back now with the umpire. Bounce the ball, and I think he's going to bounce it once again. Yes, he will, because there's nobody with any chance getting away from there at a quick dash. The Trevor Cranston on the bottom of that pack there with Ben McCready. Fairly willing type as McCready, making his way across here to the SANFL, coming across to the Casey, what are they known as? The Casey Scorpions, aren't they?
Yeah, formerly the Springvales.
They were, weren't they? That's right, yeah.
Gee, looking back to that second quarter, guys, now, how important was that minute or 2 minutes of play?
It did change the game in the end.
As here's a shot for goal by Westies, and they've scored this one. This time, West Adelaide getting that goal there, and Davenport it is who takes the honours for that one. That's his second goal for the afternoon for Jason Davenport, so we'll put a little dash in the appropriate column there. He's been I must have missed that one earlier. Didn't write it down, that is. But West Adelaide now 11 goals for, which is 70. And trailing Glenelg goes 17-14, 116. The margin 46 points, and we're about halfway through the last quarter. You're still kicking with the breeze, Andrew. Have you given up hope entirely?
Yeah, look, to be honest with you, I think it's out of reach at the moment. Davenport, he's just one that surprises me. I thought he played some really good football for Port Power. I'm really surprised that he's not up there having a go, considering their state at the moment. So, yeah, he's one to watch, that's for sure.
He kicked the only goal in the third term there, Davenport, for the Bays. He's kicked 2 of West Adelaide's, 2 of the 3 of their second half goals to Davenport. As McCready, the unlikely ruckman, won it down to the man in question, Davenport, who goes long inside 50. But once again, Rudolph.
How good's this bloke been today?
He's been wonderful. He's been just his work rate in defence in terms of I guess getting the possession and also taking the marks has been very impressive. He goes short to Mules in the right back pocket underneath the scoreboard which shows the Bays 46 points in front. Kick towards half-back, but it was turned over there from from Mules. It came the way of Filkey, who fires on the goals across the face stroke, through for one behind. And West Adelaide 11-5-71, Glenelg 17-14, 1-16, and we have gone 17 minutes in this final term.
There's another terrific kick out by McMahon. It perhaps didn't come off the boot as he would have liked, but he's kicked it 45 metres into a stiff breeze, landed it on the chest of a teammate, and Glenelg have got control once again down towards the outer wing. It looks like it might be Adwington out there on the outer wing. Kicks down further afield, and the mark's been taken this time by Big Grimer. Driver now swings round with his left foot, and that is a terrific pass that time. And the mark's been taken by Snook about 40 metres out from goal, directly in front, kicking into the breeze. But a chance now for Snook to bring up another goal here to the Glenelg team. He's kicked 1 goal so far, and a chance to put the Bays even further ahead. They lead at the moment by some 45 points. Waiting now, Shannon Snook, another one of the younger brigade. Kicking for goal from about 45 metres. He's got onto this one nicely. Nice kick for goal. It's his second. You can hear the Bay supporters clapping down here at Brighton Road. And Glenelg have kicked their 18th. 18 goals, 14, 122. Leading West Adelaide, 11 goals, 5, 71. We're about 16 minutes into the final quarter. You're listening to 107.9 Life FM, Adelaide's home of local football.
Getting into your first home can be a bit of a challenge these days, especially with all the banks tightening up. Loan approval can seem too difficult. That's why Home Loans Plus is renowned for being a first home buyer specialist. They just go the extra mile, pulling out all stops to get you over the line with a home loan. Contact station sponsor Home Loans Plus right now, proudly supporting Teen Challenge.
8410 877 get loan, no fuss. 8410 877 Home Loans Plus.
And back here at the Bay, from the middle, Jonathan Beach has marked at 50. He's wheeled around on the right boot and banged through a goal for West Adelaide. It all happened so quickly. Beach gets his third for the Bloods. They go to 12-5, that's 77. Glenelg 18-14, 122. It means nada in terms of the final result. But it was a great piece of individual play from Jonathan Beach, Andrew.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was well played from West Adelaide, getting the ball out of the centre quickly, got on the beach, he turned around and put it straight through the middle. And it's good to see they haven't given up. They're actually still fighting.
They got some scores there just quickly.
They certainly do. North Adelaide, 22-minute mark. North, 10 goal 7, 67. Trailing Sturt, 11 goal 10, 76. I'll let you quickly call this bit, John.
There's the action deep down in the West Adelaide attacking zone. And there's going to be a free kick paid here to Glenelg. The player in Rudolph was pushed in the back.
Eagles v Centrals, 22-minute mark. It's a dead even, 63 apiece, 9 goal 9 each.
Gee, a couple of thrillers, and our game is perhaps not the close one, but it is an absolutely enthralling game of football, and I don't know whether it's fully over yet, even though the margin is fairly significant. It's 45 points, in fact. West Adelaide now another big long shot for goal and knocked through for a minor score. And it will be a kick-in that'll come from this. That was a good tap-in over the top. Just picking up that player down there. It was young Armfield, in fact. Playfield, of course. I'm getting him mixed up with Armfield, who...
in the twos today.
Who's in the twos today.
Has played the last couple of months up forward for the Bays in the seniors.
That's right, yeah. So there we go. It's Glenelg 18-14, 122. Westies 12-6, 78. So the margin now 44 points. John.
Mules at half-back. The pack clears, and he had the footy. He kicks off a little short pass there towards Allen, who's got Ben Kane, unobtrusive as always, running down the outer side. When he goes inside 50, Hitchcock takes a very good mark, going back with the flight of the ball. About 35 out in that right forward pocket, probably about a 55-degree angle in the end. He's kicked 4 today, Hitchcock. 1 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in this final term. He's the leading goal scorer on the ground. Trembath and Grimer, that's Todd Grimer, have 3 each for the Bays, while Beach has 3 for the Bloods. But Hitchcock, as we said, the leading goal scorer for the game. And he could make that an almost unassailable lead if he kicks this one as we tick into time on in this final term. Hitchcock's kick is a beauty. 4 goals, 5 goals, if you don't mind, to Cameron Hitchcock. And he is putting his hand up and basically screaming in the face of Matthew Primus to give me a go there at the power as the Bays. Well, 19-14, that's 128, 50-point even lead there over West Adelaide, 12-6, 78. And we've gone just into the 21st minute mark of this 4th quarter.
Central Districts just kicked a goal to go 6 points ahead of the Eagles. An interesting game out there at Unleashed Solar.
Unleashed Solar over, that's the one.
It was Allen who got it across there to Agnew as play got underway. Glenelg into attack once again, and another mark's been taken down here by the Bays. About 45 metres out from goal. And this mark's been taken this time by young Trembath. Once again, he's kicked 3 goals so far. Only a young lad, as we mentioned, 20 years of age. It's only his 4th match with the Bays. 3 goals so far today. Coming into this game, he had kicked 4, so going back. Distance, I don't think will be a worry. I think the breeze, while it's still strong-ish, he's going to get the distance all right. The goal umpire makes a move there towards the east, which indicates that he has gone through for a minor score. Glenelg 19-15, 129. Leading Westies 12-6-78. And we are 21 minutes into the final quarter down here at Brighton Road.
It's back out towards half-back. The kick from the Bloods. McCready had it. Went to ground. Got a handball out only as far as Ben Kane, who chips it up towards Allen at 50. His kick's beautifully kicked right down the throat of Kirkby, who showed huge courage to stand there and wait as Thompson came through and collected him after taking the mark. Thompson having a push and shove there with little Snook of all people. But Kirkby, not the least bit concerned. He's going back to have his shot from the top of the goal square. And a big clap there from the Bays fans as one T. Grimer comes off the ground. Probably won't see any more of him this afternoon. He's played a beauty as Kirkby. Well, he snuck it through in the end, but that's all he has to do. 2 goals this afternoon to Big Rory. And the Bays continue to power on. They get their 20th for the afternoon, 20-15, 135. West Adelaide, 12-6-78. And that is a margin there of 57 points, which would probably be close. I think it is a game-high margin there of 57 points to the Bays.
It's just such a great set of hands from Big Kirkby. He had no right to take that mark. The West Adelaide player came in and just looked like he was going to smash the ball away. He had the jump on him, and Kirkby just stood there, held his ground and took a beautifully solid mark and then just stuck a goal through.
This time we find it's going to be Filkey kicking the ball right up towards the teeth of goal, but they're taking a falling mark. This player with Grimer, I think, it's a toss-up between Grimer and Rudolph, and I think for perhaps the least number of mistakes, Rudolph might even be the best player on the ground.
It's going to be hard to call.
Yeah, I reckon it's those two. I reckon that Marn's probably up there, and
Benny Kane's been fantastic.
Benny Kane's been a good player, and he's got the ball as we speak right now, just out in front of us here. Out in front of Shane Bursey took that mark. So Ben Kane, in he comes. There's his kick. Breeze getting underneath that one and taking the mark, though, there. The West Adelaide player in, was that Kerr who took that mark there, across half-back, goes in towards centre half forward, kicking with the Breeze, a good hand. This boy's been okay. This is Bricknell kicking for goal and kicking it through. That is a good goal. I reckon he's been a real good player today for Westies. He's got a real burst of speed. He's a solid, gotta say he's solid. He's not nuggety so much, but has played pretty well. West Adelaide's 13th goal. Glenelg goes still with a commanding lead. 20-15, 135. West Adelaide 13-6. Why didn't they teach us the 13 times table at school? I will never know. 13-6 is 78, plus 6 is 84. There we go, John.
No, sometimes they come in handy, those 13, 14 times tables.
They do, don't they? It's been an entertaining game, though. 33 goals for the game. It's been a good one.
Well, West won't lie down, as we said. Bay's 50 points up at three-quarter time. They haven't got any bigger lead than 57 points, which the Bloods just took back a little bit. So they know they're not going to win, the Bloods. They're not going to let themselves be humiliated either, as Caruso goes forward for West Adelaide. His little kick was a good one. Found a teammate there who marked quite calmly under the scoreboard and went back on the run and slotted through a goal there for the Bloods. There's lots of hand slapping going on. That player who kicked the goal was Ettigrew in the end for West Adelaide. Very sort of slow motion almost there, the West Adelaide players there, and the way they went about it. But Pettigrew gets his first, brings the margin back to under 50 points. 20-15, 135. West 14-6, 90.
To be the lack of discipline that cost West Adelaide, if you ask me. That real turn of events that happened in the second quarter just cost them 3 goals in the matter of 60 seconds to 2 minutes, and they have never really got back in the game since, to be honest.
Andrew, just a quick one on Michael Pettigrew. Where do you see his career now? I mean, he's played games this year with the Power. He's been there on their list for a while. Where do you see it?
Look, I rate Michael. I think he's got a great turn of speed. He's a good footballer. His skills can let him down at times. I actually think he might be one they'll look at trading, to be honest. he's been there for a few years and he hasn't cemented a spot yet, so I wouldn't be surprised
And
if
there could be a few clubs interested in him too. He's a good size,
definitely.
As we find it is going to be West Adelaide into attack once again. Rudolph put up those two hands. Didn't help a higher hold at that time, but there was a huge pack of players that were all around him. And I reckon the umpire's going to come in and ball it up once again. So it's only a few metres out from the West Adelaide goal. They'd love to get a couple more in the final minutes of this game. We've played around 27 minutes into the final quarter, so she's almost siren time down here at Brighton Road. There was the ball up. Big James Seller was up there for the Bays, as no one really able to burst their way through and make any sort of a clearance. It's very close to the boundary line. Ty Allen has the ball now, trying to juggle it with one hand. He's ridden into the ground, and there will be a ball up once again.
Just thinking back to the pedigree comments, I actually think there's probably going to be more power players whose careers are in trouble and will be looked at the end than there are not. So there's probably only a handful of players that have probably secured a spot there. And yeah, next year I think Matty Promise might wield the axe and see what he can do.
As here go the Bays, off half-back through Kirkby on that occasion. Unfamiliar role is kick chopped off there at half-forward by Bricknell. Handball back in the direction there of Kerr. The kicks towards half-forward for West Adelaide. Burst was there, Agnew from behind, twisted it out of bounds. And there'll be a throw in right half-forward. 28.5 minutes gone in this final term. Glenelg 20-15, 135, West 14-6-90, a 45-point margin. It'll be a great win for the Bays and a great win for Chris Massey, his first as a senior coach in the SANFL as the Kane brothers combined. Chris to Ben. Ben's kick is well marked by the 5-goal hero Hitchcock at half. He won't get a chance for 6. Instead, he puts it out in front of Kirkby, who's kicked a couple himself. He goes to ground, handballs up towards Salopek, who goes backwards to Ben Kane. Can he finish with a goal? No, he can't, because getting back on the last line defence and taking the mark there was the West Adelaide player in Thompson, who hands it off to McCready, who kicks out towards half-back. And, well, Stella took the mark, but the umpire said it was actually infringing on his West opponent in Webb. It's all academic as the final siren sounds here at the Bay. And the Glenelg Tigers run out winners on this special day for them. Indigenous round in the SANFL, but the 90th birthday celebrations of Glenelg. The Tigers 20-15, 135, West 14 goals, 690. A comprehensive 45-point victory to Glenelg. We'll talk to Phil Aspinall, who is at Woodville for the final wrap-up of that game between Central and Eagles shortly. We'll get some scores from those grounds too as well. Let's give you the goal scorers here at the Bay. For Glenelg, Hitchcock kicked 5, 3 to Trenbath and 3 to Todd Grimer, 2 to Salopek and 2 to Kirkby. Singles then to Ben Kane, Ty Allen, Shannon Snook and Ben Newells. While for West Adelaide, Beach kicked 3, 2 each to Davenport and Fisher, and singles to Caruso, Filkey, Anderson, Webb, Bricknell, Pettigrew and Bradley Kirk, who kicked the first goal of the game for West. Seems so long ago on debut. Phil, 45-point margin, the win in the end there to the Glenelg side. And you have to go back to that crazy 60 seconds there in time on the second term, Andrew Crow, where Westies were leading by 3 points after they trailed by 34 at quarter time. They'd worked hard to get back into the contest. They had taken the lead, and then some real ill discipline from some of the Bloods players, resulting basically in 3 goals in 60 seconds for the Bays. A couple were aided by 25-metre penalties, and the Bays up by 15 points in the end at half-time and really ran away with it from there.
Yeah, they certainly did. I think Andy Collins will certainly touch on that, the lack of discipline. Even after the half-time break, they came out and straight away the Glenelg Big Bob had a shot on goal after an indiscipline act as well. So it's certainly something that didn't help them, that's for sure. And probably when we look back at the players that were playing, that Doug mentioned at half-time, of the quality of players and the leadership there, probably needed one of those leaders to stand up in that position and just say, look, enough's enough, let's just step away. And it didn't happen, and unfortunately it's probably cost them the game in the end, but they certainly can walk away with their heads held high. They gave it a crack today and just beaten by a better side on the day.
Yeah, we mentioned a list of players who, in the last time I broadcast West Adelaide, are not playing, but 3 in particular who are Davis and another previous captain, David Piacenti, and big ruckman Ryan Willits. They're all terrific footballers, and they would make a big difference to this West Adelaide side, apart from any of the others that we mentioned who were missing.
Yeah, just got carried away a bit, I think, Westies, in that exchange there, and someone like a David Piacenti